Okay, so yeah, I am here with YellowJacket to discuss the new patch that's going to come out sometime mid-April. Yeah, we're going to look at it sort of from a higher level perspective and just see what's interesting, see what's going to change the game. And yeah, well, let's get into it. I think first I'll just read this little blurb that they have at the top, and then we can go through it. So, yeah, last month we teased that not only would Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition be coming to PlayStation, but a new expansion is planned as well. To put a cherry on top, we will be releasing one of the biggest updates Age 2 DE has ever had. All right, exciting stuff. Anyways, and then they go on and on and on. But anyways, it's going to be bug fixes based on your feedback. New visuals for castles, elite unique units, monks, and monasteries. Tons of new visual stuff. Technology tree UI updates. All right. Balance changes. That's the main one. New maps. New features and content to support. Oh, wait. That's going to be random map scripting, scenario editor modding. Okay, I don't care that much about that. I'm sure somebody does. But yeah, let's get into it. So have you read the patch notes yet? I guess you must have read them a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of went through it during work today,
Nice,
actually,
nice.
and actually I watched Louis stream and he shared some of his insights on the patch. So yeah, overall this is a really a massive update to the game, and there's the thing that I really love about this patch. It's like previously we only got like balance changes, right? Mostly just adding a few things, but this one really they added a lot of like visual stuff. They add, for example, the regional buildings, monasteries, and they even add like new graphics for unique units, which I think is really cool because I already installed some of those like the mod to replace some of the unique units, and I really like those. So to me, this is like not only improvement of the actually the gaming experience, but like visually is really good.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I did have a read through it before as well, and yeah, it's gonna be a huge one. There's tons to look at here. So yeah, I mean, I guess I'll read through a bunch of these, and well, once we get to balance, then we'll probably have a little bit more discussion to talk about. But yeah, anyways, so for stability and performance, fixed a crash preventing non-hosts from restoring multiplayer save files. I guess that was. I mean, there's always some issues with reloading games that have crashed. I guess they've had issues in tournaments and stuff like that. So I guess they've been fixing stuff like that. Yeah, fixed a crash related to wrong loading of certain game files. I mean, complicated stuff. I don't know exactly what all of these are gonna mean, but yeah, fixed a rare desync related to triggers and villagers idle times interactions in some specific cases. All right, well, fixing desyncs is good. Fixed a crash happening when using the rematch feature in custom scenarios. All right, nice. And just some scenario editor. Fixed a crash when typing brackets. No, those aren't brackets. Wait, what are these even called? I don't even remember. The square brackets? I guess they're called square brackets. And symbols in the search box of unique units list in scenario editor. All right. Using assisted farm placement no longer causes frame rate drops. I wonder if that has to do. I wonder if they are untying it to the server lag, or is it just if you used it too much it dropped frame rate? I wonder. Yeah.
Actually, I have something not on this one particularly, but like something similar to this. It's like when I try to place farms around the mill, sometimes it's not really registering the command. The farm was not really placed. It doesn't happen that often, but it did happen a few times to me.
Uh huh.
I don't know if they actually fix it
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes when I'm trying to place farms, yeah, around a mill or a TC, it just doesn't work. You have to move your mouse a bunch, and then it starts
Hmm.
to allow you to play stuff. But also the server lag is the big one. If you look at how Age of Mythology works, you can just auto farm, and it's just however fast you click, it places one farm per click. Whereas, yeah, in Age of Empires 2, it has to make a full round to the server and back. So if you're on like 200 ping or something, you have to wait 200 milliseconds per farm to place it, and it's not so good. So, anyways, okay, moving on. Fixed an issue that prevented the game from opening on Steam if the PC wasn't connected to the internet. I feel like I tried to open the game actually offline before and it didn't work, so that's actually kind of good if I'm doing video editing off stream or something, or like away from the internet. It could be useful. Okay, mitigated a crash that occurred when the player attempted to load a campaign save file from previous versions of the game. All right, cool. Graphics. Fixed an issue making the projectile spawn point for elite Janissaries and royal Janissaries units to be lower than intended. Okay, yeah, I guess there is some physics in this game as well. So if the projectile spawns a bit lower on the unit, then it might not hit the intended target with elevation and stuff like that. And I guess there is sort of an arc as well. So you know how missed shots can hit units that aren't the intended target or whatever. There is no intended target, so it would affect those shots. And of course, Janissaries have not the greatest accuracy, not as bad as hand cannons, but still not the greatest. So yeah, it probably does matter.
I
And
think the same thing also apply for conquistadors. Like I try to macro conquistadors, but I don't think it's they're hitting the target that well.
yeah, it feels like
Yeah,
their bullet sort of just hits the ground or whatever.
yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, so hopefully it's not just a graphical issue. Hopefully it is. It might actually matter in the actual game. It is in the graphics section, but whatever. All right, fixed an issue where Archimenid houses would immediately revert to their foundation before playing the destruction animation. All right, that's in the newer DLC. That's campaign only or whatever, or not on the ladder, so doesn't really affect me too much. All right, audio. Ungarrisoned sound is no longer played when units get spawned by cheats or technology effects. All right. I didn't realize that actually happened, but interesting. Okay, UI added individual complexity ratings for historical battles scenarios. All right. Fixed an issue where the stone gate button in the build menu didn't have a red glow when the player could not afford it. I never realized that, but yeah, that's interesting. For monks with relics, the follow button now appears on the same button ID as for other units. Oh, okay. So I guess you couldn't get monks with relics to follow stuff or something. I've never really tried to do that, but interesting. I'm sure someone figured that out. Okay, the faster work rate of Spanish builders is now reflected in their displayed on UI work rate. Or in their display? In their displayed on? I don't know. Anyways, I think we understand what that means. It's going to be in the extended stats. You're going to be able to see the Spanish builders. I guess they should add the Romans build rate as well to that. And maybe, who else builds faster? I guess, wait, but, I mean, Sicilians build fortifications faster and stuff. So I wonder how that's going to work. Because obviously for Spanish, it's going to be for all of the buildings. But, yeah, other civs have similar buffs. Anyways, fixed an issue where the scenario select button overlaps the civilization set dropdown. All right. There's a lot of weird stuff in here that I don't really understand. Maybe not weird, but it's a big patch. There's lots of niche stuff that they're fixing. And allowed regeneration rate display for buildings if extended unit stats are enabled. Regeneration rate display for buildings. Do we have regeneration rate? Maybe in custom scenarios you can make like buildings regen or something. I don't even know. Yeah. Anyways, historical battles and victors and vanquished scenario screens now have their own flags in the campaign menu with the similar appearance as the campaign group flags. All right. Moving on. 2 settings. Added regicide game mode to Return of Rome. All right. It was a good mod. I enjoyed playing it. But anyways, host can now select all civilization set option when they don't own Battle for Greece. Removed civilization set option from Return of Rome. All right. None of these things are really that interesting. Oh, hotkeys. Okay. Hotkeys is maybe one that's pretty interesting. So, monks ordered to pick up a relic are no longer selected by select all military units hotkey. Well, that's kind of interesting. So when you send your monk to go pick up a relic and then send it back to the monastery, or like shift you back to the monastery or whatever, if you use select all military, it's not gonna select that monk. So it's not just determining like the unit type. It's now determining like if the monk is tasked to go and do a relic, or like shift queued, or no, tasked to going to pick up a relic, it also is going to act like a monk with the relic. You know how it doesn't get selected
Yeah.
by select all military. I wonder how they're going to make that work. That seems kind of weird. Um,
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of you doing that like select all military for the monk trait. Like when you micro monk to convert enemy units, it's
uh,
probably like not gonna affect your that trick, but it's funny that they're doing this.
yeah, I could see some kind of bug being produced by doing that. That sounds complicated to make work, and kind of unnecessary, honestly. But it's all good. It's
Uh,
all good. I'm sure we'll appreciate it when it's in the game. Okay, so the hotkeys for selecting all or going to next hero units now work for all units with full hero status. Hero mode attribute flag 1. Specific unit IDs can still be added in hotkeys. .json for these hotkeys. All right, well, hero units aren't really spawning in most games. Yeah. So renamed change weapon hotkey into change mode and added a second instance of this hotkey. It can be used for assigning different hotkeys to switching the wait. It can be used for assigning different hotkeys to switching to the specific weapon / mode of the unit. For example, melee and ranged Ratha modes, or for example, melee and ranged Ratha modes. In the default hotkey configuration, both hotkeys are set to the same key. All right, so I'm assuming that just means they added two separate hotkeys, one for melee mode and one for range mode. I'm assuming. So yeah, that's great. That is a great change. I couldn't really understand the phrasing properly, but I mean, I think we understand what it means. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
So
think that's something that Viper complained quite a lot. Like he said, for like resonance to be actually useful, you need to have something like that instead of like manually just changing the weapons. So I'm glad like they kind of add this to it.
yeah, and I think Rathas need some major nerfs if they add this in. Like the reason people didn't use them is not because they're bad or were a bad unit; they were just annoying to use, so people just didn't go for
Hmm.
them. And you had to commit to a castle and stuff like that. Like if it didn't work, then you would just lose the game. It's not like a little investment to get into. And of course, people just play random civs, so they just didn't really play Bengalis much. And when they got Bengalis, they would just go with what they know. So I think that,
Hmm.
yeah, Ratha needs some major new nerfs. It's a very good
Yep.
unit. But anyways, we'll get to that later. And a bunch of Xbox stuff. I'm not going to read these because actually we don't really play on Xbox, so it's not really relevant. I'm sure some people play on Xbox, but yeah, you guys can check that out if you do. Okay, so some exciting stuff here. Game visual improvements. We've got some new castles. So I'm not really much of a historic guy. I don't really know what any of these castles are, like which civilizations they are going to be for, but it looks like every single civilization in the game now, in addition to having a unique wonder, has a unique castle. So that's pretty cool. Very cool.
Yeah, I really like the overall design of the different architectures because like for example, like if you travel to different countries in Asia, you look at their like castles, they all look quite different, but in the game there's like the same visual, right?
Uh huh.
So I think they actually account for that and they make it way more interesting. And I wonder if like a Red Phosphorus is in the chat because I know he used like those like flat foundation model, which I think is like really ugly. So maybe he can reconsider that and yeah, look at this castles. They're beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, it's more of a functional thing, so I don't think it'll really affect things too much. But yeah, I love that they added these in. It just really adds a bit more flavor. And of course, we have to remember that most of the player base doesn't even play competitively. They just play like for the campaigns and single player and stuff like that. So having different castles for each civ is really gonna add to that experience, I'm sure. Okay, so next up is the unique unit visuals. Every elite unique unit now uses a different visual compared to its non-upgraded counterpart, with Teutonic Knight helmet crests, samurai banners, or Janissary hats. Defeat your opponents with more style than ever. All right. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. We can recognize all of these units pretty easily. The Conquistador looks a little bit weird. Like it almost looks like a melee cavalry, but like, wait, where's his gun? Is this a Conquistador or is that a Rambai? Actually, okay, that's the only one I'm a little confused on. But anyways,
Yeah, it would take some time to get used to the new graphic, but yeah, I think it's really cool. I really like the samurai with the banner on the back. Like, imagine you have like 20 of those in a
yeah,
battle,
yeah,
and it looks it's
it,
super cool.
it's definitely gonna be
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. And they updated some of the non-elite units as well, just because the regular graphics looked too cool for the regular like non-elite, I guess. So they just made non-elite or graphics for, well, it looks like Ballista Elephant, Longbowman, Showtail Warrior, and Plumed Archer. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Plumed Archer with no shirt. Let's go. Or did they always have no shirt? Maybe that was just the wait.
I don't think they have.
I guess it
Yeah,
was just
they always look like that.
yeah. Anyways, we got different graphics here, which
Yeah.
is going to help spice up the game just a little bit, just for fun. And here's another big one too. So they added different monk variations. Look at all the different monk variations. Basically, we only really used the regular one and then the American one, but now we've got like,
Mhm.
well, a ton. We see 9 here. I'm assuming, I guess there's just, introduce 6 monk visuals. Wait, 6? I'm counting more than 6 here. I'm counting an additional 7, actually. I guess maybe there was already one in the scenario editor or something. Anyways,
Maybe one of them is the warrior priest by any chance, or
uh,
it doesn't look like that, but
yeah, they all just look like monks, actually.
yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, that's super cool. Arena is gonna be a lot more colorful now. It's not just gonna be the bald old man with the book.
Yeah, like imagine you play like a team game and everyone is going for monks. You'll be so confused. You got all the different monk with different style and different colors.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Anyways, looking forward to it. And of course, there are new monastery visuals as well. It says just Byzantines, Ethiopians, and shamanistic civilizations. So I guess they don't have them for every civ, but I guess some civs get special treatment, we can say. So that's kind of cool. All right. Whoa, I didn't read this. I actually like skimmed through this earlier, but I didn't see this part. Animation. Wait, animation attacks him. I feel like it should be attack animation synchronization. Anyways, attack animations are now synced up with the actual attacks of the unit for better visual fidelity and gameplay readability. That's going to be very interesting. I'm interested to see how Spearman looks when he attacks. He's going to like hit, and then he's going to do nothing for a while, and then hit. It's going to be very nice, actually. Yeah.
I think that's gonna be particularly useful when you use like a group of scouts to kill a villager. Because a lot of times, like you need, like I based on the time, like I try to calculate the timing based on the attack sound. But sometimes like you hear the sound, but it doesn't register that attack, and then you just like shift your scout away or something, like, and the villager got away with 1 HP, and that's super annoying to me.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't time it with the attack sound because the sound is based on the animation as well. So and the attack was never tied to the animation, so you can't really go on sound cues. You just have to sort of know how fast they can attack, and then just You just have to time it with no cues. You just have to know. It's kind of hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard to micro scouts on the current patch because your guys freeze every time you try and move them as well. So hopefully they fix that. But I think we'll get to pathfinding later, and I'm sure that'll be hopefully better. Improved attack animations and attack sound sync for various units. Okay, well, I mean, that's basically the same as the first one. Makes sense. Introduced a new idle combat animation for Villagers Spearman line, Kamyuk's Gilman, who are Gilman, and Teutonic Knights that plays in between attacks during combat. Okay, yeah, so that's what I was thinking. Yeah, it would be weird if they just attacked slow. I think what they would need to do is like attack and then do nothing and then attack and then do nothing. Like, yeah. So it makes sense. Basically, they're just saying it's gonna look good. So that's great. The speed of some attack animation has been adjusted to better match the attack speed of the unit. This will not impact gameplay, only the visual look of the game. Cool. Dude, I wonder how samurai are going to look. Are they going to have some like cool sword skills or something? Because they attack really fast. I wonder how they're going to look.
Yeah. You know, like when they attack, they always like they attack and then they put their sword back and then they kind of stand there for a while and then like when they are not really attacking. So I wonder if they're gonna be something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anyways, it's exciting. Cool. So, combat and idle animation updates introduced a second set of attack animations for a large number of infantry and some other units, which will be randomly played in alternates with the existing attack animation. Okay, so yeah, they are. I mean, it makes sense. So they're gonna have like separate types of attacks. They're not always just going to swing their sword in the exact same way. They're going to occasionally do like some special move or whatever, even though it's going to do the same damage or whatever. But that's going to make the fights look a lot better, mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Fixed the issues which prevented the alternative idle in animations for several cavalry units from being used in the game, as well as grazing animations for cows and deers. Okay, I don't know. Anyways, whatever. Cool. Okay, on to the UI. Technology tree update. Introduced new color keys for regional units, regional buildings, and unique buildings in the technology tree to better highlight their importance. All right, nice. The regional units are looking like a lighter blue, I guess. Regional buildings, I think I guess it's a lighter red. And unique buildings are like pink or something like that. Okay, that's cool.
I think the regional unit used to look like a purple color, right? If I remember.
Yeah, it was more unique unit, like the Imperial Camel. I think it was purple. Yeah, seem to remember. Anyways,
Yeah.
this they say is going to be better, so I will trust them on that. Sounds good. I guess they're considering Camel as a regional unit. It's so many civs get it though, so it's kind of funny. But I guess it is. It's just widespread. Okay. Reorganize the technology tree layout for better readability and more efficient use of space, removing regional units not available for the civilization. That's good. That's good. So yeah, if they don't get elephants or whatever, they're not going to show the elephants. They're not going to show eagle warriors for most of the civs. So yeah, that makes sense. I do like that. But they're still going to show, like say, wait, what civ is this? The civ doesn't have knights. What?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
this
this is
is
like a new
Hindustan.
Chinese save
Oh,
or
China. Oh,
something
new.
because they have the Fire Lancer. It's got to be like this new one of the new civ.
Yeah, it has to be because this is not a civ that's in the game right now.
Mhm.
This does not look
Yeah,
normal. But yeah, okay, cool. Looks good. Okay,
yeah.
consistent wording. Updated wording throughout the entire game to be more consistent and more accurate. Civilization bonuses and technologies will now better describe what their effects are. Introduced consistent unit family terms to unit descriptions to emphasize what upgrades they benefit from and communicate their unique traits better. updated the unit card to better separate the unit description from the upgrades list, the latter being italicized and displayed in gray color. Yeah, that's good, because this sort of when you would hover the icon or whatever, it would all be the same font or whatever, and or the same color. It was sort of hard to read. Now it looks better. Whoa, the M on the blacksmith is really weird though. Maybe it's super italicized. Anyways, maybe that's just the font. Okay. Updated the technology tree preview panel to display unit icons rather than their upgrade icons, showing the Arbalister unit icon rather than the Arbalister upgrade icon. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I think that's fine. Maybe. Although, why do they show... They shouldn't show the final stage unit icon here. This should show an archer, and then it should update to crossbowman when you research it, for example. That's what I do in my Heroku app, actually, for some things. Anyways. Actually, oh, wait, no. That's like an unreleased part that I was working on earlier. But anyways, it just makes sense to not show the fully upgraded thing. So hopefully they change that. But nice idea. All right, moving right along here. We've got some fixes. Fixed Hun's Trebuchet accuracy bonus description alongside the consistent wording pass. Okay. Fixed Chuganu's tooltips, not mentioning blacksmith armor upgrades. Cool. Fixed Siege Engineer's attack bonus not being mentioned in naval unit tooltips. It didn't used to affect naval units, right? Like Siege Engineers. Did it always affect... What does it affect? Does it affect cannon galleons now or something, and dromans or something? I feel like it didn't used to do anything.
They made that change involve the recent patch, I'm pretty sure, but yeah, I'm not really playing a lot of like water.
Yeah, same. So that's why I'm not sure. But anyways, yeah. Fixed shipwrights creation speed bonus not being mentioned. Not being mentioned naval units tooltips. All right. They forgot a word. It's fine. I forgive them. All right. Attack and armor display. Hovering over the attack or armor values of a unit on the stats card will now display the list of all attack and armor values on the unit. All right. So I guess this shows the bonus damage. That's cool. You can now check bonus damage sort of by hovering. That's very useful, actually, because it's not intuitive at all. So just having that information accessible in-game is going to help a lot. Nice. So the Eagle Warrior armor class is renamed as Shock Infantry, as it is now used by other units such as Jan Swordsmen and Fire Lancers. All right. Well, I mean, doesn't really matter too much. It's just renaming it. It's not going to affect anything. But that's cool. And main menu added buttons to open the editors directly from the main menu of the game. I use a mod, so I won't probably see this, but it's fine. Added a code of conduct button in the game options menu and moved the news button below the game options button in the game or in the main menu. All right, cool. Yeah, that is just the appetizer. Now we're going to get into the main course here. We've got the gameplay. That's what we're all here for. So, yeah, let's go through it and see what there is to see. Bridges and bridge pieces are now visible from the game start in games with explored map reveal. Bridge and bridge pieces now appear as shallows on mini-map instead of player color / Gaia color. All right, well, if you're playing in a map that has bridges, cool. Clearance size of boars and iron boars reduced to the same size as elephants and rhinoceroses, as it was preventing elements from spawning in the adjacent tiles. All right, cool. Yeah, I know the boar size is always pretty big. When I was playing around in the scenario editor, the boars feel kind of too big. But yeah, increased the reveal area around the monument in King of Hill game modes. All right, that should be good for those. Rock terrain is now generated evenly on all sides of the monument in King of the Hill and Relic in the Capture the Relic games. All right. Handicap no longer provides bonus damage increase. That's good. I've played a few handicap games with people. I'm not really into it, but yeah, it seems like giving extra bonus damage really it's super strong. So yeah, maybe it's good to remove that. Fishing ships no longer require antiquity mode to be enabled in order to be able to gather from oysters. And pressing idle villager button while holding down shift now selects all idle vills. Wait, doesn't isn't that already how it works? Pressing idle villager button while holding down shift now selects all idle villagers. Doesn't isn't that? I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Maybe just that's how my hotkey is set up. Maybe yeah. I think there's a hotkey for select or go to idle villager, and then there's one for select all idols, and maybe that's kind of weird because that's just a separate hotkey. I'm pretty sure. I think it's two hotkeys. I don't know. Maybe I'm. Oh wait, pressing the button. Okay, so yeah, if you're not using hotkeys, okay, that makes sense. Thanks, chat. Aha. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. It should work like that. So yeah. Okay. Cool. Fixes. Fixed an issue where the blast damage with fixed value from Logistica Drazina could produce incorrect kill count in the statistics. Oh yeah, we gotta have accuracy in the kill count. That's very important. Fixed an issue that was displaying the range indicator for ranged units when building range indicator was enabled in settings. Okay. Fixed an issue causing villagers garrisoned in town centers to sometimes automatically shoot boars. I wonder if that's kind of weird because it always used to work like that. Maybe they're changing it back so that when you garrison stuff, it doesn't automatically fire. I guess that's how it is. Because it is better that your TC loses the aggression when it gets ungarrisoned. So I think that'll probably lead to less people accidentally killing their boar. So should be good.
Yeah. I think at one point they actually, if your TC killed the boar, you can actually still gather food from it. They had that when D was initially released, but then they changed it back. So
Yeah. I think it
yeah,
was a patch a couple years after DE's release. Actually, it was only in for like a month or two, and then they
yeah.
removed it. It was just kind of weird. So I don't know if I'd support that. Maybe honestly, it's probably okay because if you kill your boar with your TC, it's really bad. And like it's not even really a skill thing at this point. Top players can do it basically 99.99% of time. It's not that big of a deal if the TC could just not make the food go away. At top level, it wouldn't affect anything. It would just make the game more fun for lower level players at this point. So honestly, I wouldn't be against that change. But yeah, anyways. So fixed an issue that prevented town centers from firing the full volley of arrows if ungarrisoned too quickly. That's interesting because usually when you ungarrison, if you issue an attack command and then ungarrison right away, it only fires a few of the arrows. But that's kind of what I would expect though, because you're sort of interrupting the attack. Your attack, right? Like it's like issuing a stop command after shooting the first shot with Chukadu or something. So that's kind of interesting. So you might be able to just garrison your vills and then issue the attack command and then instantly ungarrison. Wait a sec. That could lead to some issues though, because if you could shoot the boar with the TC and then ungarrison your vills right away and then shoot the boar with the vills that are outside, your vills could actually shoot the boar first maybe, and then the TC arrows could come in later and kill the boar maybe. I wonder if that's gonna actually lead to that situation. We'll have to see when the patch comes out, but I feel like that could lead to that situation. That would be very bad. So that would be even worse. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Anyways,
Yeah, everyone will be killing their boar, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You would just have to kind of artificially slow yourself down when killing boars. It would not be fun. So hopefully it doesn't work like that, but we'll see. Okay, fixed a group of issues making the selected unit/building UI buttons disappear. Okay, that's great. So now your UI isn't going to randomly disappear when you're trying to ungarrison your villas. Great. It's a pretty rare bug, but or at least it was rare for me. It happened once in a while, but anyways, great to see that that's taken care of. Sheep and turkeys can no longer receive unintentional speed boost after ungarrisoning from Gajara Mills with queued gather points. Okay, I didn't know about that one. Apparently, you can boost your sheep and stuff from the mill somehow. All right, that's cool. Fixed an issue with the selection modifier hotkeys option, which prevented the selection of multiple units when Control plus dragging or Alt plus dragging. Okay, kind of complicated. I'd have to see that one action to really understand what they mean, but I'm sure someone understands it. Fixed an issue that, under certain circumstances, caused villagers to be able to deposit any resource type in any drop-off location, including docks. Oh, okay. The devs know something I don't know. I didn't know how to do that, but that would be that'd be kind of useful to know. But it's a bug, so good thing that they fixed it. Fixed an
I don't
issue.
know if that
Oh, you know.
refers to the like the no, I'm not sure,
Oh,
but I'm just asking like because if you put like a plain nomad game, you have like a deer close to a shorefish, you can actually like shoot the deer, eat the food, and then you click on a shorefish, and then you can deposit food in the dock.
yeah.
I don't
I don't think it's
yeah, I
that.
don't
I
know
don't
if
think it's
that
that because
okay.
it says deposit any resource type in any drop off location. So I think this is a different one.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Anyways, it's fine. I think that requires some skill. I kind of like that that's in the game because that requires some skill, and it's
Hmm.
not super game changing. Or I mean, it can be useful, but it's not like super OP or anything. So I actually really like that. We have some weird stuff like that. So hopefully they don't change that. Dropping hunt in the dock only under certain circumstances. But yeah, anyways. So fixed an issue that created a mismatch due to rounding down between the amount of resources displayed on a villager's UI and the amount of resources deposited. Okay, yeah, just fixing some rounding errors. Sounds good. Fixed an issue that made warrior priests go unresponsive after ungarrisoned from rams. Amazing. This one happened to me all the time. I reported this one a few times. So that's good to see. Your unit's not freezing after coming out of the rams. Fixed an issue where converted siege units were changing their upgrade level after their new owner researched the technology. Oh, amazing. They're fixing this legacy bug. This has been in the game basically forever. You'd convert a siege onager and then you'd get like ballistics or something, and then it would become a mangonel.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think I have a game. Actually, you reviewed the game. I think it's between me and PLP. Like he was, I think Bohemian. He made a like 10 hoofness, and I was Bengalius. I made like 20 monks to convert all his hoofness, and then I got like 10 bomber cannons in the end. It's like it's super funny.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, I mean, if you're in that situation where you've converted that many, you're probably winning anyways. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. We've got some campaign stuff. I'm not really gonna read these because I'm not that interested in campaigns. So yeah, people can check out campaigns if they care that much. All right, here we go. Balance changes. That's what we're really here for. So let's get into it. General. Elite Step Lancer upgrade cost reduced from 900 food, 550 gold, to 600 food, 550 gold. So 300 food discount on that one. I don't know. Step Lancers are really good, I think. I'm not sure if that's necessary. That's going to make the unit really good. It's 300 food. I don't know. It's not too much, but
Yeah.
it is something. That's like getting chemistry for free, or at least the food cost for free, which when you're trying to afford things early in, that's a lot. That really helps. So,
Hmm.
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know about that one. It's not like crazy, but I'm skeptical of that change. But yeah. Okay, cavalry archer train time increased from 34 seconds to 37 seconds, and heavy cavalry archer train time increased from 27 to 30 seconds. So both getting a 3-second nerf, basically just on the cavalry archer line across the board. I think it's good. Cav archers are just
Yeah.
such a crazy unit. People basically the better people have gotten at the game, the better cav archers have been. In Age of Empires 1, if you look at it, it's all about the chariot archers, right? I mean, maybe for a different reason because they don't cost any gold, but just having a mobile ranged unit is just sort of
Yeah.
crazy. Like, it's just so good. And so, yeah, nerfing this unit. Basically, the unit should feel really bad on low levels, but then it's going to be really good on high level. That's pretty much the only way to actually balance the unit, I think. Um,
Um,
something
And I
like
think
that.
someone in the chat also mentioned that based on that screenshot that we saw earlier, like that tech tree, there's gonna be a new save that have access to heavy cavalry archers in Castle Age. So like imagine you keep that production speed and then you somehow hack into the heavy CA and that's gonna be like a disaster for balancing, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, that's right. I mean, heavy CA, what do you get? You get +1 attack, you get a little bit of
A little
HP,
bit
I
more
think,
HP, yeah.
and
And you look
better accuracy if you don't have thumb ring, but you probably have thumb ring, I
Mhm.
would think. Um, so yeah, okay, could be good. I mean, the +1 attack is the main thing. Just having an extra attack on your guys is gonna
Yeah.
be crazy.
And you
Yeah.
also look like way cooler, and your opponent don't like really engage your army, like you know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, it's just like Burgundian Cavalier. They look so much stronger, but they're just a little stronger than knights.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, yeah. All right. Elite and regular elephant archer cost changed from 80 food 70 gold to 60 food 80 gold. So actually a buff. 10 resources cheaper, but 10 gold more expensive. So they're gonna be easier to bring out in the earlier stages of the game because of the reduced food cost, but harder to bring out later, you can say, because they're more gold intensive. But it is still a buff, though. It's still 10 resources cheaper, so I don't know. Elephant archers are pretty good. I don't know if they need to be buffed cost-wise, but maybe
Mhm.
they could get a little bit of HP nerf. Something like that probably would be good because they are still a backline unit. They can be tanky, but they don't need to be crazy tanky. I don't know. Anyways, we'll see how that is. We'll see how that is. Moving on, it looks like we've got some dock changes or ship changes. Transport ship garrison capacity increased from 5 to 20, and careening and dry dock no longer improve transport ship garrison capacities. That's great. That's like, it's such an old style thing to increase the garrison capacity. It's just like not a very fun thing when you're trying to transport stuff on water
yeah,
maps. 5 is just not enough units to like you you can get some vills and you can get a scout across
yeah.
whatever, but it's just better in general to be able to transport like 20 guys at once. Way better.
Yeah. I'm thinking about like a new strategy in team game. Like imagine you play like Team Island and then you pick some say like Persian or something, and then you just like one guy just douche like all the players on the other side. With just only one transport ship, you know.
I mean, you could do that, but
Uh,
it's whatever. I mean, it'll lead to maybe some more interesting strategies. It's fine. I don't think it's gonna be busted or anything. I think it'll just be good. So,
yeah.
yeah. Anyways, looks like some trade rebalancing. Trade carts and trade cog base movement speeds are going up, but also caravan effect from trade units is reducing from 50% to 20%. So basically, what this is going to do is it's going to buff them in Castle Age, and basically, or before caravan, it's going to make it so that you might actually go for trade carts before caravan, and then caravan is still going to be good late. So I'm not sure how the numbers work out, but maybe the numbers are basically the same once you get caravan. It's just going to buff the non-caravan version, and while leaving the regular caravan version basically the same, I believe. So yeah, we're gonna need another Spirit of the Law video on that to see when you should be starting trade cog and trade cart production. And yeah, we'll see how that works out. Should be interesting. I don't really play team games, so whatever. But yeah, I do like that change because trade carts were basically useless without caravan. You just wouldn't do that. exactly the same with caravan. Speed remains 1.5 and 1.96. Amazing. Great. Okay. Next up is Siege Tower conversion resistance distance. Or conversion distance reduced to 0.5 tiles, same as Rams. Amazing. This changes arena meta, actually. This you can now go longswords in siege towers, and you can deal with monks. You actually have another way to deal with monks now. It's great. You could sort of do it with rams, but you would need almost like 2 rams for 1 siege tower. Whereas you make 2 siege towers, you've got 20 longswords. You just pop those on the monk mass. Easy, easy. It's gonna be so good. Yeah, I mean they still don't consistently ungarrison from the siege towers where you want them to go, but it's whatever. It's completely fine. Yeah, I'm excited to use siege towers. I use them. I even used them like last game on Arabia. I'm always using them these days. Okay. Buildings garrisoned with villagers no longer fire fewer arrows after researching ranged attack upgrades. Wait a sec. What? So they didn't really word this in a very technical way, but I wonder how they went about doing this. Are they increasing villagers like attack, ranged attack or whatever, sort of behind the scenes to do this? Because it's based on a unit's attack and attack speed for how many arrows are fired. Whereas like villagers and then also Crenellation's infantry get just a base 5 attack or something like that. So I guess they're changing something behind the scenes. It'd be interesting to actually see how that works mechanically. But yeah, gonna need to test that. Okay, mangonels now deal -1 damage to monks, which, yeah, sometimes you'd get a lucky shot and you would be able to kill a Sanctity monk in 1 hit with a mangonel. So that's good. It's not really going to affect anything except for that one situation where you shouldn't be able to kill the monk with Sanctity in 1 hit with the mangonel. And now it definitely doesn't. So, yeah, that's good.
Like, do you mean like firing uphill or
No.
attacking
Neutral
from down?
ground. So
Okay.
you would sometimes do exactly 45 damage if all of the extra projectiles hit the monk. If you got really lucky and the extra
Mm-hmm.
projectiles, basically the main projectile is 40, and then I guess it does it fire 5 extra projectiles or something. Anyways, it can, if they all hit, which is very rare, it would kill
Mm-hmm.
the monk in 1 hit. So
Oh, got
yeah,
it.
yeah. So just doing like 39 damage on the main projectile just means that the monk will never die in 1 hit,
Mm.
even if you have
Okay.
them all hit. Yeah. So it's fine. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Infantry update. They have an entire section for just infantry. Amazing.
Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah. So supplies removed. Best decision ever. Beautiful. That tech is trash. Militia lion cost reduced from 60 food to 20, or 60 food 20 gold to 50 food 20 gold. So they're 5 food more expensive, but you don't have to get supplies first, which is huge.
Mhm.
That's amazing. They might need to rebalance Goths a little bit, maybe Incas, maybe change the bonus. I don't know. Seems like it's going to be really strong for those civs. I think they probably will. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's great. And man at arms, long swordsman, 200 swordsman champion base movement speed increased from 9 to 0.96. And 0.96 is the same as a archer, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
And
yeah. It's the
yeah,
same as a range. Yeah, archer.
yeah. So archers and skirmishers are 0.96. I think spearmen are 0.99 or something. Like spearmen are still slightly faster, but I mean that doesn't really matter because spearmen don't really counter this unit. So it's really, they move at the same rate as archers, which is great. Now
Hmm.
they might take a few hits for free, but now you can actually run from them consistently. So that is huge, absolutely huge. But you
Yeah,
do
I
have to
think
get
for
the men at arms upgrade.
right, for like a smaller army, like maybe just a few, it's gonna be really good. But like once archers are mass, they're able to like kite the army. But I think at early feudal age, we can see more man-harm openings,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because one archer can't just kite forever. Like every time that you
Yeah.
shoot, you do have to stop slightly to shoot. There, it's not an instant fire, so the man-at-arms can gain
Hmm.
a little bit of distance. So you can either choose to shoot the man-at-arms or retreat to your TC. So you do have options. You can always get away with the archer, but the men-at-arms will actually zone the archers properly now, and then you can get your towers up, or you can get your other units in there. So very good, very good. That's gonna change a lot of how the game is played potentially. It's gonna just make these more aggressive openings viable, and maybe sort of make fast scout play not as good. It'll still be good, but if your units are moving faster, and I mean, men at arms with one spearman in the mix already is pretty good against scout opening. But yeah, it's gonna be even better. So amazing, and of
Yeah,
course,
I
just
think
being able to chase
especially.
down vills as well.
Right. If you like mix the man-harm with skirmishers, like in Feudal Age, I think it's gonna be challenging to kill the army because now like you don't have supplies, but like the militia costs less. The man-harm costs 50 foot only. So I would argue you can do like a man-harm opening, but you can always make more man-harms and just like it's gonna be super hard, especially if you get upgrade. Like like the infantry upgrade is so cheap, and then you
Mhm.
got like man-harm skirms. Like if you open scout into archers, you might not be able to kill that easily.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, supplies. I mean, on launch, it was like 150, 150, right? It was really expensive, I
Mm.
believe.
Yeah.
But it's what, 75, 75 now? So it's still 150 resources. That means that the first 15 men at arms that you make, like, would just be
Hmm.
paying for supplies. Like the 10 food discount, it would just be just supplies. So you can make like 15 men at arms and still be sort of ahead of if you had gotten supplies. So because or no, I guess it's a 5 food different. Anyways, basically you can make a lot of men at arms now and not have to worry about really hard committing into it because you don't have to get supplies. So, and of course the movement speed is going to help a lot because right now when the opponent has like 20 skirms, what can you even do against that? He has 20 skirms and 3 spears. You just can't do anything about that if you get behind against
Yeah.
something like that. So being able to make militia against this is going to be really nice because obviously you would want to get armor in that situation. You get infantry armor. Infantry armor is actually only 100 food compared to cavalry armor, which is 150. So you can say that there's a bit of a discount there. And yeah, you get like 10 men at arms, and you can send them in against the whatever, however many skirms, 15 skirms
Yeah.
or whatever, and you should win that fight. Um, at least you would be able to push them back. Maybe I don't know if you can win the fight. We'll have to see because
Yeah.
you have to understand that skirms will always go to a hill as well. So you're going to be fighting kind of on the hill. Although with men at arms, you can with the speedier men at arms, maybe you can push them off the hill or something like that. So we'll just have to see
Yeah.
how it goes. Um, yeah, men at arms and
Yeah.
skirms together is going to be a little hard to fight. But honestly, I don't know. Scouts and archers should be able to be fine against that.
Yeah, we'll see. But I think on the other side, like I was thinking, for example, if you want to do man-harm opening, like for now, you really want to keep your scout alive to block the villagers, right? Because
Uh-huh.
like the man-harm itself moves really slow. But I think after this change, like even if you lost your scout, like the man-harms is gonna be faster, a lot faster than villagers. So if you can still probably just do like a three-man harm opening without the scout, and maybe you can still kill some villagers. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll
Yeah.
just have to see if it feels good to block villagers with the man at arms or not. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, we will definitely see. And yeah, so exciting stuff. I guess let's read the rest of the changes here. Two-handed swordsmen get a 100 food decrease. They also get a research time 15-second decrease and increase in HP from 60 to 65. So I guess that's good because basically two-handed swordsman right now it just gives +3 attack. Long swordsmen got so buffed
Mhm.
that they're basically just 200 swordsmen, but with 3 less attack. So having 5 extra HP on the 200 swordsman upgrade is good. Just makes you feel like you're getting a little bit more value out of it. And yeah, only 300 resources for this upgrade now is very, very nice. And champion also getting a 100 food disc count. So you're actually saving 200 food if you want to go to champion from longswords, which is quite nice. And the research time again is down 15 seconds, so that's really great. And another attack on champions. Champions are already pretty good, so 14 attack is getting up there. That is quite a lot of attack, I will say. So yeah, I mean, champions are already good in the late game, so I would caution against buffing them too much late. I think their main issue was always feudal age, and you can say castle age as well. But well, we'll see. Arson moved to feudal age. Cost reduced from 150 food, 50 gold to 75 food, 25 gold. Half price on that. That is amazing. That is amazing. Can you imagine Dravidians now with like half on that as well? It's going to be basically free arson and half price men at arms.
Yeah.
That's going to be so good. With the faster firing skirms, Dravidians is going to be like top tier. Holy moly. That's going to be amazing. Yeah, yeah. Sweet. So Eagle Scout train time in feudal age reduced from 60 to 50 seconds. That's fine. With all the men at arms buffs, now you actually can deal with eagles in the feudal age with an actual unit that's not just like scouts. So yeah, I think that's good. I think they could even, we can see how it goes, and maybe they can even buff it further. Like the original Eagle Scout when they came out, they're kind of busted because there was no unit to really deal with them. But now there is. So yeah, we could see with 50 seconds. I think it used to be the regular train time, right? Which is I don't even remember. Is it like 25 seconds or something? I actually can't remember, but whatever Eagle Warriors used to train in. I think Eagle Scouts used to be like that. But anyways, let's get to the Civ specific ones here now. Wait, Tokuraka has some insights here. Champions going from 13 to 14 attack means that Goth champions no longer lose in equal numbers to generic champions. They both just kill each other in 5 hits. However, it does mean that Burmese and Dravidian champions kill Goth champions in 4 hits. That's a huge buff to Goths then. That's a huge buff to Goths. All right. Well, we'll see how it goes. Goths aren't really chosen that much in tournaments, I think, so... Well, sometimes they can be, but I guess it's good. It's good, I would say. Maybe.
And also the other thing is like, okay, so some of the sim before has supply, so now they don't have supply, so in late game their champion actually costs more than Goss. Like costs even more. So now like Goss are even more much cheaper, right?
That's true.
In
That's
terms of the
true.
cost.
Yeah, exactly. Every champion late is going to be 5 extra food, like champions that you would actually go for. So yeah. All right. Yeah, Goss might actually be too strong late. We'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see. All right, let's take a look at the Aztecs. Jaguar Warrior attack increased 10 to 15 on regular Jags and 12 to 19 on elite. That seems like a lot of attack just to give them like an extra 7 attack. Did they get Garland Wars removed? Like, I'm not seeing anything on that. So 19 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 from this new bonus where if you defeat a military unit, you gain an attack. Wait, what? Plus 12? 31 attack. And then if you're fighting infantry, plus 6, you're going 37 attack against infantry.
Yeah.
What? Are you like 2-shotting infantry?
Yeah, you basically like one-shot a regular monk, right? Without any upgrade.
That's
yeah.
Okay. I don't really understand. Jags maybe not the most used unit, but did they need that much attack?
And I think
Weird.
they're yeah, they're buffing this too much because like if you think about the jacks, like their weakness is against like the range units, and like before they're even weak against like heavy cavalry, but
Mhm.
now I think after this buff they will trade very efficiently versus like even cavalier or paladin, for
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
And and then like for yeah, they will still die to like CA or R-Blast, but then like Aztec has one of the best skirm in the game, so like Jax and skirm could be a devastating comp in
Mhm.
late game.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Aztec's main disadvantage was that they sort of died to paladin. I mean, they have monks, but like they struggled against heavy cav. Now they're not going to struggle against anything. So, um, yeah, that's going to be very tricky. Um, yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. I guess, yeah, their castles don't have any HP buffing, so their castles can go down fast, but,
Mhm.
well, you can just not build your castles out on the map or, like, be a little bit more careful and probably okay. I think you can just go pure Jag plus Ram. Yeah, I agree. Jag and Ram should be amazing. That's what I do with Vikings. Actually, that's what I did last game, right? You just put your unique infantry unit in siege rams and it just kills everything. It's so good. So yeah, these Jags are gonna be just nuts. I don't know. I don't know about this, but okay, we'll see. We'll see. Anyways, I do like that they added this. This is kind of interesting. Gives you RPG vibes. It's not going to be too impactful, especially like when a unit has this much attack already. You don't even care about +1 attack. It actually doesn't even matter because it's only per unit, right? So you even if you take if you have 20 guys and you kill 20 enemy guys and like you have 10 guys left, okay, maybe some of the guys that killed some of the enemies died, so you can say some of your dudes have like +1, +2. It doesn't even matter. When you're doing this much damage, +1, +2 is
Yeah.
like nothing. So they should put this buff on something that has lower attacks that you actually care about it. This is just actually a gimmick that does nothing. I mean, it might do something at some point, but you will never like think about this in a competitive environment. You're not going to be like, oh, I need to protect my guy that's doing 32 damage instead of 31 damage because he's so
Yeah.
important. Like, it's not going to matter.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I guess like when the Jag return to their like town center, they can tell their story. Basically, like I deal more attack like because I kill more enemy units. That's kind of funny. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah. Ah, it's just not well thought out, I think. But anyways, a
Yeah.
cool concept, but doesn't really make sense here. All right, moving on, moving on. Bengalis, the Ratha getting some debuffs. So HP reduced from 105 to 100. That's going to do literally nothing. Train time increased from 18 to 20 seconds. That might be something. That might do something, but Phosphoru style Ratha is still going to be busted. Like, this is not even close to enough
Yeah.
to nerf this. Like,
I
there's
think
no
honestly
unit that kills this.
they need to nerf the pure summer a bit, I think. Right now they just feel like a war wagon, but that can switch to like melee mode,
Mhm, mhm.
basically. And I think like archers take forever to kill them. The only thing can kill them is are basically like skirmishers and monk. But like I just feel like they need a nerf in their armor.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, nerfing the armor, moving the splash damage to Imperial Age, or like moving it to Elite, makes more sense. Like, splash damage on this unit in Castle Age is just oof. And
Yeah.
they still get +2 against skirms because of the bonus. They're the Bengali bonus, I believe, right? So they just kill their counter as well, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, so anyways, hopefully they realize that Ratha's still busted and give some more nerfs. Moving on. Bulgarians, dismounted conic, armor increased from 2-1 to 2-2. All right, they just gained one extra pierce armor. Cool. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Burgundians, here's a big one. Flemish militia can now be trained at the barracks starting in feudal age. Amazing. So now we're sort of seeing the parallel between Burgundians and Sicilians. They were the same DLC, right? Like they were from, I believe so.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So now
Hmm.
Sicilians have their Castle Age, or sorry, their unique unit trained in Feudal Age from the Donjon. Burgundians have their one of their unique units trained at the barracks in Feudal Age. So that's cool. I do like that, just for flavor
Hmm.
wise. It's cool. And I mean, I'm always a fan of adding more infantry units. This is kind of cool.
Hmm.
And I have no clue if these stats are going to be good or bad or too strong or whatever. So, whatever, we won't read them all. But yeah, basically, they cost 30 food, 30 gold. So, 60 resources. Yeah, probably 50 food, 15 gold would have been kind of hard to afford, I guess. Although, maybe. I mean, it's to differentiate them from men at arms, I guess, because that's
Hmm.
like too close to men at arms. It's just like a cheaper men at arms, pretty much.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's
So
more different. Yeah.
but just reading this, I think there could be like a strategy. You still like open because like when I play Burgundians, I like to open just spear skirm. I want to defend my eco, get all my eco upgrade, right? So now like instead of doing spear skirm, you can do Flemish militia and skirmishers,
Hmm.
and then you could maybe use that army to defend a little bit, and then go to enemy base. And I think it's gonna be difficult to kill, right? Just like a regular spear skirm comp, but it's gonna be better at killing villagers and other units.
Yeah.
Um,
But do
and
keep
it's
in
not that expensive. Yeah.
yeah. Do keep in mind you do need to go to gold for this, whereas Skirm Spear you don't need to
Right.
go to gold. So there is that
Yeah.
difference. And I mean, 30 food is a little bit more. Oh wait, no, spears are only spears are 35. So I mean, I
Mm.
guess actually I mean it's only 60 resources. So yeah, this unit should be not feeling too strong. But well, we'll see. It looks pretty strong. Plus 6 against cavalry. Spearmen have 18 damage, right? They do plus 15, I guess. So they're not a as hard counter to cavalry, but they do have an extra melee armor. And yeah, I
Yeah.
think if you get enough cavalry, you can still kill this. And
Yeah.
yeah. But
But
it could
then
be difficult.
you can always just mix in like one or two spears, and then like sometimes like there's if you play Sicilians, for example, you make like a few sergeants, one or two spear, and then skirmishers, and it's almost impossible to kill that army comp in feudal age
Uh-huh,
if
uh-huh.
you got to that. And then you can make like towers, but like I think similar concept can be said here for Burgundians.
Yeah. Oh, they move at zero point 0.9 speed. Okay, so they are the same speed as men at arms are currently. So they're kind of slower.
Mm.
So maybe they're not going to be as good. And also remember, men at arms are now buffed. So you have to
Yeah.
think, okay, men at arms actually could beat Flemish militia and skirms, I believe. Like these things only have 5 attacks.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I think the main thing is that when you reach Castle Age, they just get buffed instantly. So
Mm.
so you can build them up in Feudal Age, and then they're gonna be a decent unit to have, just as like a sort of men at arms light, you can say. It doesn't cost you anything to upgrade. They're not that great, but they're still gonna be able to deal with some buildings, some like light cav or whatever. So yeah, I think we'll have to wait and see how good men at arms are these days. But yeah, I like the concept of Flemish militia being trained at barracks. I do like that. Okay, let's take a look at Celts. Elite and regular Woad Raider. Cost increased, great, from 65 food, 25 gold to 70 food, 25 gold. Good. This unit is crazy. Base movement speed decreased 1.2 to 1.17. Elite Woad Raider base attack increased. Okay, they're just giving them an extra attack for some reason. This unit is already insane. I don't really see the.
Yeah.
I don't really like that. Like this Celt late game, just full woads with siege ram just kills everything. So, all right.
Yeah, I wonder how the new like what readers fight against berserks, because like berserks are kind of the similar concept, but I think before like berserk should win, right? But now after this change, I don't really know. Maybe someone needs to test that.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. And finally, infantry movement speed is adjusted from 15% faster starting in feudal age to, oh, they get the dark age bonus back. So 5% in dark, 10% feudal, 15 castle, and 20% imperial age. So even though they got a slight debuff on the Woad Raiders base, in imperial age, looks like they're moving faster than they used to. They already moved way too fast. Now they're moving even faster. Crazy. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we'll see how it goes. I think Celts are kind of a crazy civ these days with the Woads and the Siege Rams, and of course Heavy Scorpion. You can't discount the fact that Heavy Scorpion with Fear Celtica is just very good. But getting to that point can sometimes be tricky. Although Celts have such a good eco, I don't really know why people don't play them that much. Like they actually are good. Maybe people just don't understand how good the Woad is. Like you do have to transition. You have to play a different army in Castle Age compared to what you play in the late game. So they are a little bit of a weird civ to play. But yeah, I think they are very good.
I think
Yeah.
the only thing that really kills in Castle Age, for example, is like a lot of archers or cavalry archers, right? But then like you can just make like some vote and then you transition into scorpions, and that's like and then naturally you have the best comp for even for late game as kills.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think
exactly.
that's something that you can definitely try.
Mhm. Yeah, well, their eco is some of the best in the game. Just having a wood bonus is amazing. So yeah, it just depends on how you use it.
Right.
Like if you look at Huang adapt, if his all in fails, he adds like 10 TCs and he just is just crazy booming. He just keeps adding TCs because you can just afford so many with the wood bonus. So, anyways, moving on to the Chinese. So this is a big one. The Chinese are now listed as an archer and gunpowder civilization and are receiving a massive update to their units and bonuses. So they're not splitting the Chinese like they did to the Indians, but they are completely changing this civ. Yeah, it's unrecognizable from the previous or the regular Chinese, or somewhat, but anyways, yeah, Chinese is already really good, and when they do changes to civs, they tend to just buff them. So giving Chinese buffs, not really sure how that's going to go. It's going to be kind of strong. But yeah, gunpowder. I don't think they're giving them bombard cannons and hand cannons. I think that refers to the new units, I guess. So I don't really know what any of these units are, but we've got fire lancers, rocket carts, Lu Chuan, dragon ships. So yeah, very interesting that they're gonna get 4 new ships. Oh wait, dragon ships are a unique upgrade to fire ships. All right, well we can imagine that then. Nice. All right,
Yeah.
so new civilization bonus: fire lances and fire ships move 10% faster. Okay, cool. Demolition ships HP bonus removed. Cool. All right, I kind of like that. And yeah, so Elite Chukunu buff 8 to 10 attack. What? Crazy. The upgrade cost is going up, but dang. Okay, buffing Chukunus for some reason. Okay, and we'll see how that goes. Rocketry getting a complete rework of its cost here. Just now it costs, instead of wood and gold, it's costing food and gold, and it's going to be more expensive. And the effect is changing to... okay. So it's not giving extra attack to Chukunu. So actually, it's not a buff. They're not actually buffing Chukunu. They're just removing the rocketry effect on Chukunu and just giving it as part of the elite upgrade. I mean, that makes sense. So rocketry now just affects scorpions, rocket carts, Luchan, and 25% attack. So yeah, okay. We'll have to see how that plays out. 25% attack. Okay. So it's not attack speed, it's just attack. Just the attack is going up. All right. Fair enough. No, it's not a buff on the Chukunus because this is just for elite Chukunu, the attack increase. So it's still Imperial Age. Yeah, okay, so they're losing access to camels, losing access to mangonels. I guess the rocket carts maybe sounds like a siege unit that maybe replaces mangonels, and loses access to cannon galleons. Okay, okay, cool. Sounds good.
Yeah, I like the change the lose access to camel right now. Like, because I think like it didn't really fit their save identity.
Uh-huh.
Like it's similar thing to like Hindustani. Not Hindustani. There's another save that lost camel, I think. Yeah, I think it just yeah they should lose that. If they have halberdiers, they don't need camels, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
Yeah.
Tatars also has halberdier and camel, but and same with
Yeah.
Byzantines. But I mean, it's just Chinese is kind of crazy. They don't need camel riders. Like you get to crossbowmen, and then you just add some camels in Castle Age to protect your economy, and you're just so far ahead.
Yeah.
So just because
Yeah.
camels are like pikemen in that they don't really need upgrades to serve their purpose. Their purpose is to fight,
Hmm.
like to tank and against cavalry and stuff, and do damage to cavalry. You don't need any upgrades to
Right.
make them accomplish that goal.
Right.
Maybe bloodlines, but you don't need any blacksmith techs. And they do the
Right.
job just fine. So you can just go crossbowman, add a few camels, and then your crossbowmen never die. You can even kill siege with the unupgraded camels, and you're just booming. It's so good.
Yep.
So yeah. Camel is really good when used correctly. So yeah, I like that. We'll have to see what all these new bonuses, all these new units do for Chinese. But right now, I don't really have too many opinions because we need to see them in action, right? Okay, moving on to Dravidians. We've got some Urumi swordsman changes, elite and regular Urumis, going to 9 attack from 8 and 11 attack from 10 for regular and elite. So just giving extra attack to a bunch of random units. I don't know if that's a good way to go, but anyways, movement speed increased from 1.05 to 1.10, so just a little bit faster on the Urumis. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Mhm.
And they're getting
I
aspects of.
thought
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
they already moved pretty fast, right? Like if I recall.
They're a little slower than some other unique infantry. It's not going to change too
Uh,
much, I think. I think it's fine, I guess. I'm not. It's fine. Like Dravidian, the Urumis are mainly like you hit the splash damage charge attack, and then they are not doing that much. I mean, they still do some, especially if you have wood steel. They also ignore armor. So it's not
mm,
9 regular, or it's not 11 regular damage, it's 11 true damage. So if you say that every unit is going to have like sort of 3 to 5 melee armor in the late game with blacksmith techs, you're actually doing +3 +5 on top of that. So you're going like 11 +4 for blast furnace, and I mean you're doing 14 true damage, whereas most civs are going to be doing, or most units are going to be doing quite a bit less because of armor. So yeah, this unit might be very good. But the next one might be the biggest thing, because gaining access to husbandry means that their elephant archers are just so good. I don't really know why Dravidians need husbandry. I think this civ is going to be kind of busted, actually. You're going to go like super strong skirm men-at-arms comp in feudal age, and then maybe transition to the elephant archers in some matchups. And yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Also, they're like with wood steel, right? Like in late game to raid.
Mhm.
Now you have husbandry, like it's gonna be very efficient at reading as well. Like it's gonna die in the like the main battle, but for reading, I think it's still good, unique.
Yeah. And also this makes this makes Vikings the only civ that's not American civ to not have husbandry in the game, actually. So like every civ has husbandry. It's I
Yeah.
don't think every civ needs to have husbandry in this game. I don't know. Like
Mm.
yeah. I don't really like that husbandry change, but yeah, it's gonna be too strong,
Yeah.
I would say. Yeah. Or wait, yeah, Teutons don't have it either. Sorry. There was
Yeah,
I was
too.
forgetting Teutons. Yeah. Teuton enjoyers in chat here. Don't worry about it. But Teutons at least have good paladins, so they don't count. Cumans also don't count for obvious reasons. All right. Good thing that chat is very smart. All right, moving on to the Georgians. We've got a small nerf, luckily, to their regen, but they still have 2 regen and feudal, so they still free win every single feudal scout war. They also don't mind taking hits from skirmishers, so they're still going to apply basically just as much pressure. Obviously, 2 HP per minute is like, after 10 minutes, they're only gaining back 10 or 20 HP, which is not much, but it's like you still free win every scout war. And if you're attacking walls and the opponent has like skirms behind, the skirms are gonna hit your guys. You're not gonna really care that much because you're gonna regen that HP back eventually anyways. So you're still gonna be able to put insane pressure. Of course, they haven't addressed the free mule carts and 10% better economy. So the Civ is still busted. Like, this is kind of a nothing nerf. It's a nerf, but it's like not really.
I feel like the main difference here, like you right now, you really need to be you really need to think about like how you engage with the spearman, because like before, like with the 5 HP per minute, you can just like take down the spearman and then you run the map. But then now, like with the regen being kind of slow, I think you need to be a little bit careful when you take some like spear damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your scouts aren't going to be ready to fight again until early Castle Age. So you basically, you fight, you retreat your week 1 or your week 2 scouts, chill in your base, and then you just keep harassing, and then you come back later with light cav fully regen. That's basically what the plan would be. Something like that. So you're not really coming back in Feudal Age again with your units, but you will come back in early Castle Age with light cav. So this honestly doesn't really do much. Like, it does a little bit, but Georgians are so busted that it needs a lot more. Especially the CA. Cav archers on a hill with Georgians, they take less damage on the hill. They already take less damage because they're on a hill, but then they take even less damage as Georgians. And then they regen on the hill too. So, like, how can you even deal with Georgian CA properly? You can't really. Yeah, so hopefully they get addressed a little bit more than this, because this is definitely not enough nerfing, in my opinion. But anyways, moving on to the Goths. Next, we've got Elite and Regular Husk Girls. Base cost reduced from 80 food, 40 gold to 75 food, 35 gold. So getting a bit of a change here, but their infantry discount is getting changed. So yeah. The train time at castles is reduced, so yeah, that's kind of good. They did train at castles pretty slowly. I think that's fine. But yeah, the infantry discount per age bonus is reduced from all of these numbers, starting with 20 to 15 to 30. So yeah, that's going to coincide with the militia getting buffed. So now that there's no supplies, Goths, of course, still benefit from, or Goth champions will still benefit from the cost decrease of infantry. So this just changes the numbers a little bit. I'm not really sure exactly how the numbers work in the end here. Are they a little bit more expensive now compared to what they used to be? I feel like they're cheaper though. Maybe. I feel like they're cheaper though. They must be cheaper now even. It should be even less than this, honestly. They should probably make it like 10, 15, 20, 25 maybe. I would think. They cost more gold now. Oh yeah, that's true. So that's kind of good. Late game gold is important. So all right. That's fine. Yeah. I think nothing really to say about the Goths bonuses. They're not huge here, but we'll see how it works. It's really the champion buff getting that 1 extra attack and then also being cheaper is going to make Goths really good. Not that interesting bonuses, but I think they will do something. We'll see. Okay, Huns. Elite and regular Tarkans. Attack reload time reduced from 2.1 to 1.9. So they're just basically attacking faster a little bit. Cool. Nice. Italians have some pretty big buffs here. So Pavis removed and Silk Road moved to Castle Age. costing 500, 250 gold to 250 food, 250 gold. So you can basically they're trying to prioritize getting your trade going in Castle Age sometimes because they're where the trade cart bonuses from earlier, right? So trade carts now move faster. So now you can get basically what Silk Road does is it decreases the cost of your trade units by 50%. So you can now maybe legitimately make trade in the Castle Age in some situations as the Italians here. Potentially.
I think there's like used to be a map where you have like a neutral market that you can
Yeah,
trade with.
marketplace.
Yeah, I think Italians is gonna be really good on that kind of map. If you can protect your trade route, but if you can do that, basically you could do you could stay on one TC, but you make like two markets or something, and then
Mhm.
you just get a lot of gold out of it.
Yeah, you could definitely play like that and then just use the market or whatever, or play monks or something. Yeah. Um, we'll see. I'm sure it can lead to some interesting strategies. So hopefully they're not too strong, but we'll see. New civilization bonus: foot archers and condottieri, one melee and one extra pierce armor. So that's gonna be really good in the feudal age, right? Archers with
Mhm.
an extra 1/1, and then you get leather archer armor. Dang, enemy archers are gonna do 3 damage to you, and then they're not even gonna have armor. Sometimes you're gonna be doing like 5 straight up damage to them. You're doing a lot of damage. That's gonna be so good. That's gonna make them really strong. I'm not sure if foot archers also include skirmishers in this context. I assume it doesn't. I assume it just means like the regular archer line. But yeah, that's gonna be very good.
No, it doesn't. Like in the original bonus, it doesn't affect it. So,
Uh-huh.
um, yeah, it would make the skirm very tanky. So the this change, I think, is gonna be massive for team games. If you ever pick Italians for like a fang, you just go double range, and then like when in team games, like if you can like snowball your like crossbow or archery in feudal age, that's gonna decide the game. I think it has some impact on team games
Mhm.
for sure.
Yeah, and Italians are they picked in team games a lot? I'm
I
not
don't
really
think
sure.
so, but
Yeah, but
yeah,
okay, well then
but
that's
they're
good. It's good that they have something
uh,
now. Yeah.
yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and of course Silk Road is going to help with team games mostly as well. So I think Italians they are designed as a team game civ because Condottieri is open to your teammates as well, right? So it's like the devs really want this civ to be picked in team games. So yeah, maybe it's good. Okay, unique unit or unique tech, pyrotechnia. Available Imperial Age for 650 food, 500 gold, and the effect is hand cannoneers deal 15% pass through damage and are more accurate. Wow. Um that's kind of weird. So their bullets just like pass through enemies. That's kind of not very intuitive, but that's going to be very strong, right? That's like okay. So hand cannons only have 7 range. That's fine. But yeah, it depends on how the pass through damage works. I guess it's not going to be like scorpion bolts where they go further, maybe. Although I don't know,
Uh,
15% pass
and,
through is a lot.
and also Italian has like cheaper gunpowder units, right? So you
Yep.
can mass them easily.
Yeah. I want to see how 30 hand cannoneers do against just a massive cavalier running at them. I need to test that in
Hmm.
scenario editor and just like see how that feels because that feels like it's just gonna kill them all in one shot. It's gonna be like chakrams, except for that it's gonna kill
Yeah.
cavalier.
I
uh,
think there could be like a new strategy, like if you play Italian and then you play like a long feudal age, and then you try to like full wall and then you fast in after that. And
uh-huh.
then because you got a cheap a university upgrade, like you can get chemistry pretty easily, and then you just go like three range hand cannons. And with even bomber cannons, it could be a strat.
Yeah. At least Italians still don't have siege engineers, so I mean, maybe they're somewhat balanced.
Yeah.
We'll have
But
to wait and
they're
see on
like
that.
their age up upgrade is cheaper, so it's like if you want to go fast in, it really suits that kind of
Hmm
play style.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, next up is the Japanese elite and regular samurai. We're getting some samurai buffs. Let's go. Cost reduced from 50 food, 30 gold to 45 food, 30 gold. So just 5 food discount. All right, cool. Samurai are just kind of bad, at least, or at least they were. Let's see if they got some real buffs here. Now gain additional movement speed and +1 attack when charging at an enemy unit. So, I don't know. Is anyone familiar with StarCraft 2 and Zealots? Like, they have an ability where they basically, when you send them into attack, they just go really fast to close the distance. Maybe it'll be like that. We'll just have to see how this is. This seems like some weird thing that doesn't really fit Age of Empires 2, but yeah, it seems like you might be able to just like right-click an enemy and then retreat away, and you'll just have movement speed extra. It's gonna be really gimmicky. It's gonna be very weird. Yeah, I have no clue how this works, so we'll just have to test this to see what this does and what this means for the unit. But yeah, samurai buff, cool, sounds good. The Civ still doesn't have siege rams, so even if the samurai are really strong, they don't have the pairing with the siege ram, so they're never gonna be quite on the level of woads or berserks, I would say. But yeah, we'll see. Team bonus adjusted from galley plus 50% line of sight to +4 line of sight. All right, I mean maybe that does the same thing. I don't know. I guess galleys gain line of sight with fletching or like the blacksmith attack upgrades. Just every unit gains line of sight with their range as well. So maybe it was just to be more consistent here. So that is completely fine. All right, Khmer. Elite Ballista Elephant, or Elite and regular Ballista Elephant. Attack reduced from 10 to 9 and 11 to 10. So 1 damage off of the Khmer. We're finally seeing some nerfs here. Let's go. Exciting nerfs. Ay. All right. Good. Yeah, Ballista Elephants are just too strong anyways, so it's good that they are changing that. Honestly, they should probably remove ballistics from this unit again. What do you think?
Yeah, I think this unit's like once you got into the late game, is really really strong. Like the issue with me is like sometimes I try to just make this unit in Cassage with low eco. I don't think it's ever gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
It just die to monks, die to other things. But once you got to the late game, especially like Khmer eco and with Hussar and the elephants, I think they didn't have too many weaknesses. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, and without ballistics, it requires more skill to use, so it doesn't feel as cheesy as well. It doesn't feel like
Mhm.
it's just a no-skill unit. You just make a bunch. So, yeah, it probably needs a few more nerfs, but anyways, maybe we'll see those in the future. Okay, the Koreans developer note. The Koreans are receiving a massive update to their units and bonuses. All right, well, yeah, oh, wow, that's a lot. All right, let's read through them. So we get also fire lancers and rocket carts here for the Koreans. And their civilization bonuses. Reduced minimum range for Mangonel line team bonus replaced with villagers +3 line of sight. So that means that in a team game, your team's villagers are going to be all seeing further, but they're not going to have the reduced minimum range Mangonel line. That's fine. I think actually the villager seeing further is going to be a way better bonus as well. Like it's going to be more applicable. Obviously, the Mangonel line, the Mangonel bonus is great when you have Mangonels, but you always have villagers, and you can always benefit from that +3 line of sight. That should be huge, actually.
Yeah.
So
Especially like if you're playing like in Nomad team games, right? If you're playing for Nomad, and then Korean is already really popular Nomad, so that's gonna like it helps like you to find enemy TC, helps you to find extra shape and boards. I think like for team games, it's gonna be huge.
yeah. Elite and regular War Wagon. Bonus damage versus buildings reduced from 5 to 2. All right, that's good. War Wagons they just kill buildings so fast, they just get in, and then once there's a bunch of War Wagons, they're so tanky that even skirms don't even handle them properly because they're faster than skirms. So if there's enough skirms, you run. If there's not enough skirms, you just kill them. So it's like War Wagon is a very snowball unit, so it's good that they can't kill buildings quite as fast. Elite and regular turtle ship. now fires 2 volleys of rockets in between its cannon shots. All right, gonna have to see how that works. But I guess it's kind of like the Chuknu where it has extra arrows or whatever. Received a large number of statistical changes. Now more effective versus galley line, but more vulnerable versus demolition ships. Okay, so turtle ships are basically just completely reworked. All right. That's what all of this is. We're not going to read all that. Yeah, just rockets, whatever. Armor. Yeah, it's just basically they reworked the turtle ship. We're going to have to see how it works in-game. Cool. Shinkchom is cost changed from 800 wood, 500 gold to 1,100 food, 800 gold. So that's like another Imperial Age, more expensive Imperial Age even. That's crazy. And what that does is it just gives you +1 range. Oh, okay. Wait, oh, they don't have mangonels. Okay, so rocket carts are the mangonel regional unit for Chinese and Koreans, I guess. Okay. Effect change from +1 line mangonel line range to +1 range on rocket carts and turtle ships, and they fire additional rockets. Okay. So yeah.
I think just based on this apricot, I can already imagine this how broken this unit could be, like the rocket card especially, like because to justify this cost for what the word actually says, just one range and additional rocket. I think this unit is already it's gonna be broken.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I guess it'll be probably splash damage as well, just like mangonels, because it needs to be fulfilling a similar role to the mangonels, I would expect. So, yeah, we'll have to see on that. But
we'll have some fireworks.
Yeah, it's gonna be some fireworks, that's for sure. Yeah, they really needed to give the Chinese some fireworks. All right, well, this is Koreans here, but anyways, okay. Malay is up next. Team bonus adjusted from docks +100% line of sight to +6 line of sight. It's kind of like that previous bonus where yeah, it's just changing the percentage line of sight to a base or like a straight up whatever +6 here. It's fine. Portuguese organ gun HP reduced from 60 to 50. That's a huge nerf. But I don't think that's going to address the problem because yeah, they're still going to be very strong. Like once you get enough organ guns, they just kill everything. And well,
I think if you have like a magnet on the hill, does it one-shot it now?
Oh, yeah, they should. I'm pretty sure. 40 should become, it becomes 50, right? Yeah. It should kill it, I believe.
Yeah.
Because it's a 25% increase. So, oh yeah, plus with the extra projectiles do like a few extra little damage to get through the armor. So, yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I think phosphor style is still going to be very good for Portuguese. But, well, we'll have to see what he does with this. See if scouts can actually kill this unit now. I don't think it will be able to, but yeah. Anyways. Moving on to Romans. We've got the Legionary. Just base movement speed is going from 9 to 96. This is just the same as Champions. It's not actually a buff specific to the Legionary. It's just to keep it in line with the Champions. And they lose access to Arson. All right. I think Romans are also a little bit too strong. They're not that popular, but I think that they are really, really strong if you use them properly. You just get Scorpions, and then you make other units as well with the 5% faster eco across the board. It's just a very strong civ. So, anyways, keep your eyes out for Romans. Especially with the men-at-arms buffs. Like, Romans with the extra melee or 2 melee armor, 2 pierce armor on the men-at-arms from the just +1 attack with the movement speed increase is going to be amazing. And, of course, basically Romans were mainly balanced by the fact that they didn't have supplies, but now supplies doesn't exist, right? So now they're just cheaper. So, honestly, Roman infantry, better watch out for it. Okay, Sicilians, elite and regular sergeant. Cost changed from 50 food to and 35 gold to 60 food, 25 gold. So 10 more food, 10 less gold. I guess that's fine. I don't really have any strong opinion on that. Movement speed buffed 0.05 tiles per second, I guess that is. Or tiles per second. So, okay, slightly faster. And their armor is nerfed. So now, instead of being a balanced armor, they're now more of a melee armor specialist. So, kind of more balanced, you can say. Less interesting, but more balanced. It was just way too strong before. So now they have one less pierce armor in Feudal Age. Great. They have one less pierce armor in the Castle Age, but they gain one melee armor. And then their elite upgrade gives them an additional 2 armor, so 6 base melee armor and 3 base pierce armor. So they're still very tanky unit. Still very strong. And the movement speed, honestly, like, I don't think they really need a movement speed buff at all. They don't need to make everything fast.
I feel like this change is like mainly to address the buff for to other infantries, because otherwise, like if you don't change this, they're gonna look like a Teutonic Knights basically compared to other infantries in the game.
Yeah, but they kind of are though. They have extra armor.
Yeah,
Like that should
yeah,
be how they are. They're tanky, so they should be slow. They shouldn't be like
yeah,
0.01 slower than Men at Arms. No, so I
yeah.
think I think it was
So
fine.
so for the gold change, I think you can make two sergeants without going to gold, right? In feudal age.
Ah,
So I
yes.
wonder if you can do some like tricky strat. You make two sergeants, you make two spears, and then you just go some like random army comp without really going to gold early, you know?
Yeah, you
Um,
could. Well, you can basically make 2 sergeants. It'd be a sort of late Men at Arms. It wouldn't be a Men at Arms rush
no,
really. It would be
actually,
a little slower.
I don't agree, because if you read further, like now you can build dungeon in like Dark Age.
Aha.
So you build that, and then like you make
Ah.
those two units, like because Mind Harm you need to upgrade that, and then you can even make the dungeon forward on your opponent's woodline or
Mhm.
berries. Like
Mhm.
it's gonna help the timing.
Yeah.
And I think there's gonna be some interesting strat.
Yeah, I think so. Sicilians, you've always had to play them a little bit weird. I actually have been warming up to Sicilians a little bit. I think if you play them with instant Donjon in Feudal Age and then go from there, I think it's the best way to play them. And
Yeah,
now that it can be built in Dark Age, Sicilians is maybe gonna be good now. We'll have to see.
yeah,
But yeah, Dark Age statistics. Okay, so 220 or 625 HP is like nothing. So if you place that too far forward, the opponent sees it, they're just gonna rush it down with vills, and it's kind of hard
yeah,
to quick wall it in because it's like 2x2 buildings, so it just requires more buildings to actually quick wall in. But you might still be able to do that though. So yeah, we'll have to see if it is too strong. I think it might be, but yeah, that's one of
yeah.
the things that
And
we can't really predict.
Yeah, and the other thing that I really want them to add, it's just my personal opinion, is like for the ability to research infantry upgrades within the dungeon, because a lot of times I make like for example like spearmen out of the dungeon and the sergeants, but then like in Chaos Age I still need to build a barrack to get all the other upgrades. I just felt like not that natural to me, so I hope they can make that change in the future.
Yeah, I think that'd be too strong though. It's not that big of a deal to just have to add a barracks at that
But
stage of the
then you're
game.
just adding a barrack to just be able to get that upgrade. I feel like maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
we just added a blacksmith just to get the upgrades too. It's fine. It's not a
yeah,
big deal. Um,
okay.
yeah, I think it's fine. You can fortify your wall with the barracks. It's all good. Um, yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
fine. I think it's fine. I don't think we want to buff Sicilians too much because they can be very good if they get off to a good start. Their farm bonus really
yeah,
just it's so good actually. Like the amount of resources you actually have to spend on farms in this game is a lot, and Sicilians not having to do that early is just very strong. So I think it's
yeah.
kind of hard to balance.
They're kind of yeah, they're kind of like Teutons, but with better knights in my opinion because they run faster, they can kill spearmen, they have more armor in the Imperial Age. So, but you just need to survive till that age, that time, right?
Yeah, yeah. And also, one other thing is that Sicilian skirmishers take less damage from enemy skirmishers, which is huge. Like in a skirm war, it's the only way that you can reduce the enemy skirmisher damage against you is Sicilian bonus, and of course hills. So, yeah, they can be very good. Skirmishers and sergeants, just amazing unit comp. So, yeah, I'm excited to use this Sicilians. It's going to be really good. Moving on, we've got some small changes for these next ones. Slavs, free supplies, and Gambesons civilization bonus change to free arson and Gambesons. Of course, supplies is not in the game anymore, so they just get free arson instead as well. I mean, Slavs is really good. I don't know if they needed that, but sure, it's fine. It's not going to be huge. I mean, it could be huge, but we'll see. We'll see. Spanish, missionary, now affected by cavalry armor upgrades. Okay. That's going to be way too strong. Missionaries are already so good. And if they get armor upgrades, like you get +2 armor as well in the Castle Age, dang. That's so strong. They're never going to die.
Yeah, and the upgrade itself, it doesn't cost gold and give you gold back. So
yeah, that's true. That's true. It's 400 food, but then you also get 40 gold for that. So you can say 360 resources to get this. Like missionaries, just they take so many upgrades. They take the most upgrades in the game. But yeah, this is maybe too strong, I would say. But
yeah, so you can just think about it like a Bengali monk, but on a donkey,
yeah,
right? Like
exactly. Yeah, it's almost a Bengali monk, but well, I mean, it has extra HP, so it is even tankier in probably most situations. But anyways, I'm excited to use the missionaries. They're going to be OP, so I'll be using them. Teutons, elite and regular Teutonic Knight, HP increased from 80 to 90, and elite 100 to 110. So wow, Teutonic Knights gonna be very tanky, and they have base conversion resistance from 0 to 3. So now, in addition to the Teuton conversion resistance, team bonus, they also have base conversion resistance. So yeah, the Teutonic Knight's gonna be very hard to convert now, and which makes sense. It's fine, but
so
yeah,
the
extra
question
HP.
I've been thinking is like, do you think the Jaguar Warrior will be the elite Teutonic Knights now?
Yeah, I mean, Lee Jaguar Warrior is doing a 3 million attack, so yeah, it should easily win now, right? Like
Yeah.
Jag will like 4-shot or something. I don't know. We need someone in
Mm.
chat to calculate it, but yeah. So yeah, a fully upgraded Jaguar Warrior. Okay, that does 31 plus
31 is the
is
total. Yeah.
oh okay, 31 is the final
Yeah.
amount with all the buffs. And Teutonic Knight has what, 10 melee armor? I can't remember. Is it 12 or no?
Yeah, 10
Is it
base.
10
Yeah.
base, 10 base plus 3 for upgrades, right? So 13.
Hmm.
So they're still going to take what is that? 18 damage per hit. Okay, so they're still going to
But you had to
oh, plus
account for
the
the
bonus.
infantry.
Yeah.
Bonus. Yeah.
Is the infantry okay? +6 for infantry because they nerfed that. So, what is that? 18, 24 damage. So they're gonna die in 5 hits. They'll die in 5 hits. The Teutonic Knight will die in 5 hits. Teutonic Knights. How much do Teutonic Knights do? Teutonic
I think
Knights.
it's 17 plus 4.
Okay, 21. Jaguars have. Do they have any base melee armor? I actually can't remember the Jag stats. Anyways, we'll let chat figure it out. It's gonna be okay. They have 2 base, so but I don't remember their HP and stuff. So it's all good. It's all good. I am pretty sure that Jags will not lose that hard to Teutonic Knights. Actually,
Yeah.
there we go. All right, Anyways, moving on. Someone can figure it out in chat. I'm sure we can watch the chat.
Yeah. And then
And
we can bring the samurai to the discussion as well at some
yeah,
point.
exactly. Yeah, it's too bad the patch isn't out yet, so we can't test it. But anyways,
Yeah.
okay. Vietnamese gain access to the Fire Lancers. All right, that's fine. Maybe, I don't know. Civilization bonus, HP archery range units plus 20% HP civilization bonus adjusted to archery range units and Fire Lancers plus 20% HP. Okay, so I guess, yeah, this is an infantry unit or something like that. So, yeah. All right. And finally, we've got Vikings, Elite, Berserk, and regular Berserk. Cost decreased. They're getting a buff. Oh, man. 65 food, 25 gold to 65 food, 20 gold. Okay, wow. Vikings going to be insane. Yeah, did you have anything more to say about these ones?
So for the Fire Lancer,
Yep.
is that like a infantry but has a range unit attack mode, or how does that work? Do you know?
I don't know. I haven't seen them in
Okay.
action. Like I haven't
Yeah.
yeah, I think was there they were shown in the tech tree here, so they're in the barracks from Castle Age it looks like. So Castle Age regional barracks unit. But yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't seen them in action or their stats or anything. So, yeah, not 100%
Okay.
sure on that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Uh
just regarding this patch, I think there are a few other things like toward the end. It's nothing related to the game itself, but I just felt like it's cool. They added some like animals, new animals to the game. Like now you can eat chicken, or you can eat like other stuff, instead of like just like sheep, I guess.
yeah, yeah, I think that's down a little bit further. Here, I can
Yeah,
go through a little bit. Yeah, I just skipped the some Battle of for Greece stuff. It's not really that
yeah.
relevant here. They added 2 new random maps, Glade and Fortified Clearing, which we all know Fortified Clearing from tournaments. I don't know Glade myself, but anyways, cool. Looks like lots of trees, so should be very
Mhm.
nice. And 1 real world map. They added the Great Wall. Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a
Yep.
side note, the Great Wall actually, like the map itself, is based on the real map from China. So like, because I recognize this, I grew up like in this area, so I
Oh.
I saw. Yeah, I was actually born at the purple square. So
Oh,
I was
down
born in
here.
that. Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So I
nice.
was actually born there. Yeah, it's really funny that they added it this way. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow,
Yeah.
that's really interesting. Yep, yep. Um, yeah, I feel like I used to play some Romance of the Three Kingdoms on PS2, and so there was like a Chinese. Well, I mean it's Chinese, so like you'd play on the Chinese map. So the Great Wall was kind of in the north, and there was like, um, basically it was historical warlords and stuff like that. So you'd have all of you could play as different factions that were in the sort of the Three Kingdoms area. And yeah, so I can
Hmm.
sort of imagine like where this area was on the map as well. So you'd like play just throughout the entire thing. Like who was the guys here? I can't even remember now. But
Yeah.
anyways, yeah, I think it was like the Gong Sun Zan. Gong Sun Zan was like the guy that was up here. Anyways,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So that's really interesting. All right,
Yeah.
let's move on a little bit here. Looks like they added a new map variation, quick start. So starts with 6 extra villagers. So they're basically adding 9 villager start into the game. That's cool. Very nice. Um, yeah, I I kind of like the basically starting the game a little bit faster. I don't think it's a bad thing, but it looks like tournaments aren't really doing that anymore. So whatever. Okay, nice. Here's some Arabia changes. So the player forest distances are now much more equal between all players. All right, that's good. Player forests have been made generally larger. Okay, not necessarily good or bad. It's just maybe different. The furthest player forests have been pushed slightly closer to the players. So I guess the The forests that are really far away normally are now a little bit closer. So that's fine. Resources now generate much more unpredictably and naturally. Okay, we'll have to see what that means, but exciting. For 2-player games, neutral resources now generate more towards the center of the map. Okay, so yeah, it just makes the center a little bit more important. Like the stone and the golds are going to be in the center instead of way off to the sides. For 2-player games, the spawn distance between players and the general location is now more varied and unpredictable. All right, so I guess the circle TC mod that you can get to just like show the circle where the TCs are going to be on the minimap is going to be sort of out of date. I guess that's going to mean that you can spawn a little bit closer to the edge, potentially. So that's cool. Huntable animals now spawn randomly between 20 and 28 tiles from the player town center instead of randomly between 23 and 27. And also, there's now a chance that huntable animals generate in groups of 2 and 4 instead of only 3. Good. A little bit of variety. It's just always 3 deer now, so it just feels like you're doing the same thing every game. So even just a little bit of variety helps. Relics now generate much more unpredictably, but still reasonably evenly distributed between players. One relic no longer generates in the dead center of the map. That's cool. You could always rely on that one central relic, so it's nice that it's not now always there. Relics now scale more appropriately according to the map size. Okay, I guess if you have a larger map size, there's more relics, is what it means. Introduced a 40% chance of a new extreme elevation type on the map, which is more representative of the legacy map. All right, we're going to have some huge hills, I'm sure. So that could be pretty interesting as well, I guess. Hard to wall. Yeah.
Yeah, Tatars and the what's the other save? The Georgians is gonna be more OP.
Yeah. It's gonna be kind of hard to stop, but whatever. And there's now a 50% chance that regular huntable animals will be replaced by a group of small, unpushable huntable animals. So I guess that's like the chickens, or whatever. So there might not be deer. There might be something that you can't push. So I like that. That really changes how you approach the game. If you can't just push deer, if you just can't push 3 deer or whatever, now suddenly you have to send more to berries. You have to adjust your build order. You have to add farms earlier. I think it's good for the game because now you can kind of reliably do the same thing every game. But the whole point of Age of
I
Empires.
wonder.
Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, I wonder if you can like, for example, if you're Georgian or Armenian, you can use your like mule card to eat those animals. I think you should, right?
Yeah. If they're
Um,
huntable, then yeah, you should be able to use
yeah.
the mule cart. Yep, but you still have to
Okay.
send it out there, so it's kind of
Yeah.
it's fine.
But
Um,
you can just like eat the food and then you send to like a wood line on the edge of the map, so your opponent will never find that.
but if they know
Uh,
that you're Georgians and they know that you have a mule cart, they're gonna be like, "Oh wow, he's not taking any wood near his base. He's somewhere."
yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think a smart player will figure it out. So I think it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
And added more variety in the map themes. All right, cool. Arena. Player bases now scale more appropriately in size across map sizes. All right. Introduced various new themes to the map. Okay. Players now only generate walls towards the center of the map. Oh, okay. So you don't get back walls now. It just automatically, it doesn't even give you back walls anymore. All right.
Yeah.
Don't even have to delete them anymore. That's cool. There's now a 50%
But
chance. Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, sometimes, but I think sometimes it can be useful, right? You're just farming on the on the back of your TC. Like when your opponent is like pushing you, that back wall sometimes can defend you just a little bit.
Yeah. They do come in handy sometimes, but well,
Yeah.
maybe it's best to remove them. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there's now a 50% chance that regular huntable animals will be replaced by a group of small, unpushable, untable animals. So, yeah, I guess. I don't really like that for Arena, though, honestly. I think you should be able to push them all in Arena. Like, Arena is. Maybe we'll adapt. I'm sure we'll adapt, but it's kind of. I don't know. Not as good on Arena, but it's whatever. We'll adapt. Okay, added groups of neutral, small, huntable animals in the center of the map. Okay, now there's hunt in the center. Okay, that could change things a bit. I'm not sure if that's for the better, but yeah, you could get map control and then you could make a TC in the middle of the map and then start taking hunt. So it's just gonna really favor map control, because I think if you just go for stuff in the middle of the map,
Mm.
you make a TC in the map. Even if you have low economy, you don't even need to make farms, and you just take the hunt and get your eco going. So, interesting. All right. Fixed players sometimes not having forest generate inside their walls. That's good. Sometimes you just didn't really get a proper forest. Fixed straggler trees sometimes spawning in the walls. Okay, yeah, that's kind of bad. I thought it was always just regular forest walls that could spawn there, but yeah, if there's a straggler tree that spawns in your walls and then somebody can just chop it to get in, that would be kind of bad. Added some elevation to the outside forests. Okay, arena with elevation now. Okay, big Tatar buff. Probably won't matter too much, but it'll matter late, like in the really late game. Could be good. So, I mean, it's not going to affect most arena games, but it will eventually come into play. Fixed a rare bug that caused large huntable animals to not always generate in the appropriate number. Oh, okay. Like you would get not enough boars or something. Okay, that's pretty bad. I never seen that one. So that's good that they fixed that. Relics now scale more appropriately according to the map size. All right. So yeah, team games, they're just going to have more relics or whatever. Cool.
So just regarding the huntable animal thing, I was thinking like now, like if you do you still like pick Mongols? Like, because sometimes you could not, if you can't push your deer and you like your bonus is not that effective anymore. So I feel like that's gonna kind of affect the especially like the pro thing. Like if you play a tournament, you might not draft Mongols just because of this random thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Obviously, consistency is gonna be better for competitive wise, like selecting the right civ for the right map. But yeah, you're gonna want maybe more versatile civs instead of ones that rely on that specific bonus of there's always hunt. So yeah, it's definitely a nerf to Mongols in some situations. So yeah, I think it's good though. I think Age of Empires is about the randomness. It's the random maps. You should have to scout and you should have to adapt to the map. You're not always gonna get the perfect situation for whatever civ you select. Like you're sometimes gonna have a bad map for whatever. Like maybe poles you have the berries for it or whatever. That's just part of the game. So I think just being able to adapt to the map is a useful skill in this game. So yeah. I think it's good. Okay, moving on to Black Forest. I don't really play it, but some people do. Decrease the number of inaccessible areas on the map, trapping resources and other objects. All right. On the generations where ponds appear on the map, all players will now have access to one relatively small pond. Okay, so everyone can fish boom now. All right. The forest clearings now appear more natural looking. Cool. Instead of clusters of 3 to 12 hostile animals or hostile huntable animals generating randomly across the map, all players now consistently generate 2 hostile huntable animals far from their initial town center. Okay, so I guess that means boars. I'm assuming that means boars. So yeah, they spawn in groups of 2 now, basically. Added more variety in the map themes. All players now spawn with 2 relics in their forest clearing and updated map visuals. Cool. BR Fall of... Okay, I'm not going to go through these changes because we don't really care too much about Fall of Rome, City of Lakes, Marketplace. Actually, Mega Random. Okay, let's read the Mega Random one. A major increase of variations for all map layouts, leading to less predictability. Amazing. Nomad Start can now feature extra villagers, up to 14. Okay, that sounds cool. Extra food resources can now appear on neutral lands. Okay, herdables, huntables, forage bushes. Oh, okay, that should make the maps more fun. New bamboo trees, water, and animals have been added. Okay. Mixing of tree types for forests has been added. Okay, cool. Yeah, Mega Random kind of is not very fun right now, so it's good that they've hopefully addressed that. It's going to be great. Okay. Oh, we got some nomad changes. So, added a chance of a small landlock generating. Beautiful. Yeah, the current nomad, it's always just water on the outside in a ring, and it's just the same. So, having long landlock can be, just adds some variety. It's nice. Okay, gold and stone deposits are more evenly spread out across the map. Forage bush clusters are now more evenly spread out across the map. Okay. The general land shape now appears more varied and natural looking. Okay, good. Added more variety in the map themes. Increased the map dimensions by 5% on all map sizes. Okay, so it's a little bit bigger now. That's kind of good, I guess. Players now spawn with one herdable close to one of their starting villagers. Okay, so now everyone gets a scout, not just the Huns. That's cool. All right. Relics now scale more appropriately according to the map size. Okay. Players starting villagers now generate more consistently spaced across the map, ensuring all players have roughly the same walking distance. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I mean, they can use math to do that, so it makes sense. There's now a 50% chance that regular herdable animals will be replaced by 2 small herdable animals. Okay. When regular herdable animals are present, forage bush clusters are smaller, but 3 huntable animals generate nearby each other. Okay, so sometimes there's a bunch of forage, and sometimes there is some deer and forage together. So that's cool. When small herdable animals are present, the forage bush clusters. When small herdable animal. Oh, regular herdable animals and small herdable animals. Wait, regular? Wait, regular means cows and like the 150 food, and then small is the 100 food, I guess. And the forage bush clusters are larger, but no small huntable animals are present. Okay. Anyways, doesn't matter. We'll learn the map as we go. I think that's. The small herdables have 65 food. Oh, wait. Are chickens herdables? Wait, can you herd chickens, though? Or are they like in Age of Mythology where they just stand there? It's written poorly. Yeah. It's kind of... They're using terminology inconsistently. Are they like the AOM chickens? Well, that's not herdable because you can't move them to your TC, right? Those are huntables. But they're not, maybe they come in at a slower work rate? I don't know. Like in mythology? I guess we'll find out. Yeah, I guess we will find out as we go. No problem. All right, let's go. Okay, we don't really care about... Yeah, I don't even care at all. They did so much to Yucatan, whatever. Chronicles. Okay, yeah, cool. Random map scripting, whatever. You guys can read that if you want. I think I saw... We saw some interesting things. Oh, we got new trees. Let's go. Look at the trees. The birch trees that they added before were really nice. So lush bamboo, Asian pine, peach blossom, willow, Asian maple or green, and green Asian maple and autumn Asian maple. That's pretty cool. Very nice. I like the look of those. The aesthetics. Yep. Won't use mods for a while. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, looking good. Added 3 predatory animals: black bear, polar bear, and Arabian wolves. Whoa. Yeah, but like, what are the bears doing on this rock? Do they fight you? Do they just jump off the rock and like ambush you?
I think that's a panda, right?
Yeah. That's none of these. So maybe this is... I think this is just like... This is just... what is it? Scenario editor thing. Oh, it's a panda rock. Okay. Yeah. It's a panda rock. It's not... They're not going to attack you. They're just going to eat the bamboo. All right. Additionally, the bear and wolf have been renamed brown bear and gray wolf, respectively. All right, that's cool. We got black bears, polar bears, and Arabian wolves. Ooh, those Arabian wolves look pretty buff. They look scary. But the bears kind of look kind of small, so I don't know. Added a new type of herdable animal with 3 color variations. Yeah, it says herdable here. It says the chickens are herdable. So I assume you can bring them to your TC, but I don't know. But they're just like chilling around the mill like in Age of Mythology, so they don't feel like you can move them. I don't know. And we've got Argali. I don't know what animal that is, but it looks like kind of like an ibex almost. A little bit different. Some kind of goat. Chickens can't be pushed. But that's not herdable then. What? Chickens versus... Are there chickens and there are also wild chickens? Wait. Okay, there's chickens and there's wild chickens. Okay. So there's 2 kinds... They added 2 kinds of chickens into the game. Amazing. All right. And we've got the red-crowned crane. Going to be flying around, I guess. Very cool. I like that they have different names. Yeah. The chicken and the wild chicken. Very not going to confuse us at all. Okay. Bunch of horses. Wait. Added a new male and female villager that won't start automatically gathering resources during Empire Wars. Okay. All right. If you don't want them to start gathering resources, you can do that if you're a scenario editor type of person. Okay. Just some AI changes. Looks like, yeah, AI can scout rush properly now. That's cool. Unit AI. Okay. Fixed a bug making villagers go idle at resource location when ungarrisoned with back to work command after the resource is depleted. So I guess if you have a chopper and then you garrison him and then a different lumberjack chops the rest of the wood and then you go back to work with the villager inside the TC, then the guy would previously just go idle, but now he's just going to go back to work like you told him to. So that's cool. Fixed a bug that made units on stand ground issued with a right-click command autonomously change target when there is no obstruction preventing them to reach the clicked target. Okay, I generally wasn't doing stand ground micro, so I didn't really see it much. But I guess, yeah, stand ground should always make your guys attack the unit that you click. Although that should also click or work with control click, but don't think it works right now. Anyways, fixed a bug that made units on stand ground ignore secondary targets after the primary target dies when issued a shift plus right attack command on multiple units. Ah, yeah. That one I would use, though, especially killing a line of trebuchets or whatever. It's pretty useful. Mitigated an issue that had monks freeze if issued a movement command while converting enemy units. I mean, all your units freeze if they're doing something and then you just like issue a movement command. So, all right. Don't think it's just a monk issue, but maybe they'll fix it in Pathfinding. Let's take a look. All right. Now, here's the good stuff. Reworked villagers pathfinding, which was making them take illogical routes upon completion of a building. Good. Fixed an issue that made split units regroup after a move command rather than meeting at a desired location, or split units regroup after a move command rather than meeting a desired location. So instead of like, you have your guys here, and you want them to go here, and they're like split up. Instead of going like backwards and then forwards, they're going to go towards the meeting location. That's good. That makes sense. Fixed an issue that prevented units from walking in straight lines despite not encountering any obstruction. Yeah, that's good, because at least previously, currently, you can say, because the patch is not out, your units operate in a grid. So there's each individual tile in the game is split up into 16 locations that a unit could be on. So if you right click or if you issue a movement command, your unit will not actually go specifically where you clicked. They go to the center point of the 16 like mini tiles that are on each tile. It's hard to explain, but that's hopefully that makes some sense. So they don't actually go exactly where you click. And what that does is that they also sort of can't really walk in a straight line because it's split into 4x4. It's hard to explain, but anyways, they fixed pathing. Amazing. Hopefully. The grid mod doesn't go hard enough is what you're saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Okay, yeah. So yeah, fixed an issue that prevented units from reaching the exact location clicked by the player. Fixed an issue that made villagers break their path into more segments, resulting in slower and longer routes. Yeah, your villagers kind of are stupid. So hopefully they're not going to be as dumb in this next patch. Fixed an issue that made units take longer paths around small obstructions. Good. Fixed an issue that made units backtrack before moving towards the select location when issued multiple unit movement commands. Yeah, that's really good. That one's super annoying. Like, you have to spam click to get your guys to go properly where you want them to go, but then if you spam click, they also just like regroup every time you click. So it's kind of really bad. Mitigated an issue making villagers move one tile downwards before going to the intended spot when tasked to build a building close to them. Yeah, that one's pretty annoying too. Vill's just like, go somewhere weird and then go do stuff. Fixed an issue with lumberjacks sometimes not choosing the closest tree to the lumber camp first. That one's good. I'm always fixing my woodcutters these days. So, amazing. And some random scripting stuff, whatever. Modding, whatever. Scenario. Oh, there's a new elevation height. Up to 16 from 7. Wait, up to 16 from 7? You can go up to elevation 16? Okay, that's going to be very steep. If you guys don't know anything about the scenario editor, like, each number is one level of elevation. 16 height is like, what? You could put an elevation 16 in the middle of a tiny map and you would be feeling the effects like from the edge. That's a lot.
I think there used to be like a like a random map, like the Hilo Majaro, right? Like with the mountain and the center. That kind of feels like a 16 elevations in the
Yeah,
center.
we'll have to see how it looks, but yeah, was it that high though? I don't know. It was big, but I don't know. Anyways, yeah. Okay. And, well, they've got some ongoing stuff. Yeah, I'm sure they're working on stuff. Lots of words. Coming on PlayStation, of course. And, okay. Wait a sec. Right at the end, the next expansion for Age 2 DE will include 5 brand new civs, all playable in ranked multiplayer. Yes, you read that correctly. 5. Is this all the DLC includes? Nope. We'll be following up soon with more details regarding PlayStation in the next DLC and news on the availability of this exciting update. Wow. That's kind of a lot. 5? Yeah, that seems pretty ambitious.
That doesn't include the Chinese and the Korean, right? It's a brand new save.
Yeah, brand new civs, as it says. So, yeah, that's going to be not including the ones that are already in it. Wow, 5, my wallet is open wide. Yeah. So true. Yeah, dang, they just actually included this right at the end. Just some random, like, last paragraph, basically. After all of this. Who else is going to read for, like, an hour and a half? Wait, have we been here for 2 hours? Literally reading for 2 hours, and then they drop this right at the end. Holy moly. 5 pay-to-win civs? Yeah. Dang. Wow. All right. That's really exciting. Yeah. Do you have any
Yeah,
more
I
stuff to say? Yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, I felt like yeah, this is kind of like a massive patch update. I just honestly I think they should do this kind of like in a slower pace. They're just doing throwing too much stuff into like one single update, and I don't know if they already tested the balance well enough to know okay, this is gonna not like completely change the meta or change like how the gameplay works. So I'm just a little bit worried about that, and then for some of the unit balance, I think they're doing it. For example, the Jaguar Warrior change.
Mhm.
I just felt like that's too much, to be honest. They need to do it like it's slowly, slower than this, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. Yeah, I think even if they had pros on the balance team or whatever, they still wouldn't be able to fully balance five brand new civs
Hmm.
before releasing it. You pretty much have to just release it to the public and then balance it after that, because then you
Yeah,
have tens of thousands of games being played, and then you can see what's busted and stuff. Internal testing can only do so much. So yeah, it's going to be a lot for the community to really get through, pretty much. Like five all at once is the attention is going to be so split between all five new civs, plus just playing other civs as well, so that it's going to be hard to tell what's actually busted and what is underpowered and everything, because there's just
hmm,
too much. Like people just can't really
yeah,
focus on anything. And if they focus on one thing, then they don't know about the other things and how all of the different civs interact with. Like it's gonna take
yeah.
a year to really learn all five new civs.
Right.
I would say, and
And
balance
then
them
they
properly.
Right, and then for me it's fine because I'm just playing for fun. But then for pro players, they need to like rely on rely on this game to make money. So like they really need to put a lot of work into like getting into the understanding of the differences and the new saves. So I just like for them, they're gonna have a hard time understanding everything in a short time if they want to use the save actually in the tournaments coming
Mhm.
up.
Mhm. Yeah,
Um,
I mean,
so
tournament organizers can also just have a global ban on the new civs. I think that a lot of games
yeah.
do that. They just like globally ban new content just while they get balanced. So I think that's
Mhm.
fine. But yeah, yeah, it's gonna be exciting. Hopefully they haven't forgot about nerfing Georgians though. So like
Yeah.
they slightly nerfed them, but I think they we haven't had an actual balance patch in what 10 months or something. So I
Yeah,
think
that's what I'm saying. Like they
yeah.
should do this like more often, but not like putting like all those things in one single patch. I just felt like this is too much. But
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Well,
It's better than nothing.
yeah,
It's
you know
better
what?
than nothing.
All five civs are probably going to have the same sort of theme, I guess. Like they're going to be maybe
Yeah.
from the same region, so it kind of makes sense to release them all at once. But yeah, balance patches, for example, like they should really be doing like a monthly balance patch. Just
Yeah.
it's just little things. You
Yeah,
can
yeah,
tweak one
exactly.
thing for 1 month, and if it's OP, that's fine. You just tweak it the next month. It's not a big deal. But it's just the problem is
Yeah.
when we have OP stuff in the game for like a year, and it's
Hmm.
yeah, that's the problem. Like it's okay to have some OP stuff in the game if they're gonna balance the game or like rebalance after a month or whatever. But yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
it's
And
uh,
then one final thought from me regarding the infantry buff. I just felt like the infantry, okay, so at a high level, at pro level, infantry is kind of bad at the current stage, right? They're pretty much useless. But and I understand like the game should be balanced based on the highest level. But I felt like at lower level, infantry are not that bad. And like some people have a really hard time like dealing with a basic like three-man arm rush, and now their infantry are buffed, the movement speed and everything. I don't think the lower ranked player can micro archers against the man arms anymore. Like they will lose a few archers just to like three-man arms maybe.
mhm.
So I have some concerns there. I don't know how how this change the ladders, but on the other hand, I felt like infantry, like okay, so people think infantries are bad, but I felt like a lot of times people just don't understand how to use infantry
Mhm.
because okay, so if you're fighting like let's say five man arms versus five archers, yeah, you're gonna lose that fight because people would would actually micro that. But then, like, if you remember the game that we played the other day, like I made like 5 barracks in Feudal Age and then just spammed like Boss Man Arms.
Yeah.
You can do like I learned that from Hera. Like he said, you can play man arms, just like split the units to different location, and then the enemy can't really keep up with it. Like you can't have 5 groups of archers, right, microing at
Hmm.
the same time. So if you know what you're doing, infantry can be good. So I honestly I don't think it need that much buff to the infantry. So I just have some concerns.
Yeah, I think part of
Yeah.
the problem, like in that last game that we played as well, it's just that people don't really have experience dealing with mass infantry very often, so they sort of get
Yeah.
overwhelmed. I think just as infantry gets played, people get better at defending. So I'm not too concerned
Thank you.
about infantry being overbuffed or anything like that. Maybe the unique infantry units have been overbuffed, but I think the baseline infantry are going to be in a pretty good spot at this point. Maybe civs that have a buff to the base unit are going to be really strong, but yeah, I think it'll be fine. And as for on lower elos, yeah, I mean people can go men at arms against men at arms is fine, and
Yeah.
and it's just coming up with people can just learn to wall better. They can learn to have their archer sort of under their TC. It's fine. Um, like I think people will adapt even on lower levels to if infantry becomes a problem that like they'll make their own infantry, they'll just play archers, or
Yeah.
they'll just drop elo to a level that is going to be better for them at this in this meta or whatever. Like it's fine.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna
Yeah.
really matter too much.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
either way, there's gonna be like a learning curve for all different elo brackets, right?
Mhm,
So for
mhm.
me, for most of the other players, and for the pro players as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm excited to see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be great. And I mean, they say it comes out mid-April or something, so we've got 1 month to wait. But I mean, you can say only 1 month. It's not that far away.
Hmm.
So yeah, really, really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And yeah, gonna be well, still spamming infantry even on this current patch because I like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, it was nice to have you on, and I'm sure
Yeah.
that the chat enjoyed. I enjoyed having a talk about this, and yeah. Anyways, I'm sure I'll see you on the ladder.
Yeah. See you. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye bye.
Bye. All right. I'm back. Welcome everyone. I'm so out of energy. I need to make some food. Just been talking for that long, like focused talking for that long is too much.